BGSU baseball seeking to continue their historic winning streak here at Stellar Field in Game 2 of the weekend against the Kent State Golden Flashes. Tyler Cavlitt's here with you alongside Reese Patricus from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Great to have you on the broadcast, Reese, and should be a fun one after yesterday's battle.
Yeah, Tyler, I don't know if we're going to be able to top yesterday's affair. I mean, that's about as good as it gets if you're a Bowling Green fan. You're down 4 runs late. You come out and you explode in the ninth inning, or I guess rather the 8th, 9th innings, and you're able to walk it off against a team that seemed to have had your number for the better part of the last 50 years or so.
Yeah, and we'll get a little bit into that matchup history. But first, I really just want to talk about yesterday's game a little bit. You were on the call with Chaz McNeil. I was here in attendance for it. It was kind of the typical game for this winning streak for Bowling Green. They go down early, they fight back, even it up. They go down again late, and they come back to win it.
Yeah, you can really compare it to that Purdue-Fort Wayne game on Tuesday where they were down by 7 runs at one point, able to come back, walk it off. Of course, in that Purdue-Fort Wayne game, it was a hit as opposed to an error on a bad read on a dribbler. But you know, it's kind of been the calling card of this Falcons team over the last 11 games is that they never quit. They never quit. Goonies never say die, right? So, you know, they've just been able to keep their heads on straight no matter what the deficit is, and they're able to heat up the bat seemingly at will, and it only takes one person. Yesterday it was DJ Newman who hit a solo shot in the bottom of the 7th inning, and he really woke everybody up behind him. They almost batted around in the 7th inning, and they were able to score another run in the 8th and then come back and walk it off in the 9th. So it really all just takes one person, and this Bowling Green team, they don't falter when they fall behind.
They really don't. Of course, 11-10 the final yesterday. Bowling Green winning the hits battle 14-13, something they haven't done in the past few games. But like you said, they just don't stop fighting when they are behind. Perfect time to go into this winning streak. So it is an 11-game winning streak for Bowling Green right now. They have a chance today, if they win. It would be just the second time that this program has had a 12-game winning streak. It'd be just the third time program has a 12-game winning streak. It's been done twice before, 1976, 2008. Of course, the 1976 team winning a program record 13 games. But something about that 1976 winning streak is they won 4 games total against Heidelberg and Adrian that are both D3 colleges. The 2008 season, the 2008 winning streak, was all against D1. So when you go through that, Bowling Green now today has a chance to tie the program record for longest winning streak against all D1 and D2 opponents. Something really special this program has a chance to achieve here today. Yeah,
and I mean, you can just start by saying it's been a fantastic turnaround by Kyle Halleck, who he took over this team.
Might be an understatement.
I don't think really you can put into words what he has meant to this program. You take over in 2020 following this program getting cut. To put it gently, you're not good for the first 3 years of your tenure, and then last year you finally turn it on, you get things going, you win the regular season of the Mid-American Conference, you're able to make a nice run in the postseason, and then you look at this year and you're 16-5. You're the last undefeated team in the Mid-American Conference for the second straight season. I mean, you can't put into words how awesome it has been over the last 2 years here, and it's due in part to the players, but also who brings in those players, and that's Kyle Halleck and this coaching staff.
Yeah, and there's a ton of crazy numbers we can look at. I'll go over a few of them here. During this winning streak, Bowling Green has had 4 straight wins by 2 runs or less, and overall across the streak, they've won 7 games by 2 or less out of the 11. This team is 10-2 when the opponent scores first. They are 8-3 when being out-hit by the opponent. When you go, we talked about they have no quit in them in their fight. They are 4-3 when trailing after the 5th, 5-3 when trailing after the 6th, and 6-4 when trailing after the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable just how determined this team is. They fall behind, and a lot of teams, a lot of programs, no matter the sport, no matter where they are, D1, D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO, regardless, some of them, they fall behind and they give up, right?
Yeah.
Well, not this team, and it's awesome to watch because it's not an everyday thing where you see a team have this much fight in them regardless of what the situation is, and that's such a great trait to have, is the ability to, regardless of the situation, no matter what you do. Like you said, they've won 4 straight games, 2 runs or less.
Yeah.
And that's
7 of the last 11.
That's such an important feat to have, because you're going to have a ton of close games. If you have the ability to win those close games, then you can do anything.
You definitely can. So something I want to hit on, too, before we get into these batting orders for each of these teams and the pitching matchups. 17-mile-per-hour winds today. It's not blowing exactly how it usually does. Yesterday it was pretty straight out towards center field, maybe towards that scoreboard in right center. Today it appears to be blowing more towards the Slater Family Ice Arena, which is over to our right side out of this press box. How do you think that's going to affect this game? What strategies are you looking to see all these batters take?
Yeah, it's certainly a good day to be a lefty. I tell you, in the batter's box at least. Like you said, the wind's blowing off to our right, so if you're a lefty, that's your pull side, of course, and as long as you're not too far ahead of it, you should be able to get some good carry on the ball and carry it out of here.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes today. Let's go through these batting orders real quick. For Kent State, it's Micah Kirikoff, the freshman center fielder, leading things off. Hayden Yasik is a senior third baseman. He bats second. Jake Casey, senior right fielder. He's batting third in the cleanup spot. Freshman DH, Sawyer Solitaria. Brody Williams behind the plate, junior. He bats fifth. Hunter Klotz bats sixth, a junior first baseman. Alejandro Kovas is sophomore left fielder. He's batting seventh. Ripken Reese, second baseman. He's a sophomore batting eighth. And Brady Marshall, the freshman shortstop, batting ninth. For Bowling Green, TJ Tackett, sophomore center fielder, leads off once again. He's been great in that leadoff spot since being moved there. Garrett Wright having another phenomenal season, sophomore catcher batting second. DJ Newman, junior DH, batting third. Cleanup spot for Bowling Green. Brady Birchmeyer, sophomore first baseman. Sam Seidel, junior second baseman, bats fifth. Caden Parker, the senior right fielder, bats sixth. Garrett Sloan batting seventh, sophomore third baseman. Gavin Gannon, senior left fielder, bats eighth. And Gunnar Antillion, the senior shortstop, batting ninth. Pretty much the same lineups that we saw yesterday for both these teams.
Yeah, and I want to call back to what you were just talking about with TJ Tackett and how great he's been since taking over that leadoff role. And there's nothing more valuable than having a great guy at the top of the order who can get on base like TJ Tackett can. In yesterday's game, he went 3 of 5 with a home run. He had a walk back in the fourth inning. As well as the walk-off error. So it speaks volumes, the ability to have a great leadoff guy. Of course, last year it was Nathan Archer, who's now with the Chicago White Sox, or in the Chicago White Sox organization, I should say. So, now you've got a guy in TJ Tackett who's a young guy. You're going to have him, of course, barring nothing happens transfer-wise, you're going to have him for the next couple of years. And he can really grow into that role and just flourish in it, and we're already seeing it now compared to last year where he was struggling a little bit in limited playing time, but now he's really broken out.
Kyle Halleck, I believe it was after the Purdue-Fort Wayne game, said that TJ Tackett, by the time he is done here at Bowling Green, will be one of the best players to ever put on the uniform in this program's history.
And that,
which is crazy.
That's
praise
unbelievable
for
praise, yeah, because you think of some of the names who have walked through the halls of BGSU and BGSU baseball. You flash your bobblehead signaling Oral Hershiser, and you've got Andy Tracy, and you got John Birdie, and other names like that. And to call someone who's just a sophomore and say that he has the potential to be one of the best to ever wear orange and brown, we
see it out there in the left field. 15 MLB players, 63 MLB draft picks. That's the kind of class that Kyle Halleck is putting what TJ Tackett can become. That's the class that he is putting him in.
Yeah, and that's unbelievable because, again, he's a young kid. High praise for a young kid, and I feel like when you're that young and you get praise like that, it kind of messes with you a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it's getting into his head and affecting the way he plays.
there's also something else about this team. All these guys, a lot of these guys stepping up are hometown kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was telling you off the air before the game, another thing Halleck said is that the core of this team that is built on these hometown kids, these Perrysburg, these Bowling Green kids, they have turned, in Halleck's words, Bowling Green from an option to a destination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, you build off of the kids in the area, and that's not something that a lot of teams do these days in, the world of transfers and all that stuff. So it's great to see something like that happen. And you look also at, guys like DJ Newman from Archbold, which is just down the road, and a lot of kids from, relatively nearby in the state of Michigan, which, the Michigan border, from here you could throw a rock and it'll land in Michigan. So it's just great to see local kids building up a program the way that we've seen it over the last couple of years.
Definitely is. The starting pitching battle today, Kent State going with the sophomore right-hander Jacob Bean, Bowling Green the senior left-hander Nick Good. We'll get to more of both those guys when they take the mound for their respective teams. But we have the national anthem coming up here at Stellar Field, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have first pitch here between Bowling Green and Kent State on Falcon Radio.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Green, green, green. You got to make it green. It's your home, it's your dream, it's your dream. Great on tested living, healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Hey, I'm Lucas Kleinmeyer, and you are listening to a presentation of the Falcon Media Sports Network on Falcon Radio. For Falcons, by Falcons.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_F.
Back here at Stellar Field, Tyler Cavlitz along Reese Patricus from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this one. Bowling Green coming into this game 16-5 overall. They are an undefeated 4-0 at home, and they are 7-0 in conference play, riding an 11-game win streak for just the sixth time in program history. Kent State comes into the game 8-11 overall, 2-2 in conference play, just 1-7 on the road. Once again, the defensive positioning for Bowling Green: Garrett Wright behind the plate, Nick Good on the mound. That is the battery for the Falcons. Brady Birchmeyer's at first, Sam Seidel at second, Gunnar Antillion at short, Garrett Sloan at third. Outfield left to right is Gavagan, TJ Tackett's, Caden Parker. Coming in today's game, Nick Good holds a 2-1 record. This is his sixth start of the season. He has a .484 earned run average, 22 1/3 innings pitched. He has 27 strikeouts and 12 walks. Opponents hitting .310 against him.
And we got a chilly but yet beautiful day for baseball. Some big puffy clouds in the sky, and that wind we were talking about earlier whipping through here about 17 miles per hour, gusts of about 25 as we get underway here.
Micah Kirikoff in the batter's box for Kent State, and we are underway here. Nick Good throws in a strike. First pitch is at 2:01 p.m.
23 hours after yesterday's first pitch to the minute.
Good, the left-hander. This one dribbled over to the right side by Kirikoff, and Seidel is just going to let that go right under him. Looks like he was trying to figure out how to field that. Couldn't get his glove down in time, and goes right between his legs into the outfield. It'll be a leadoff single there for Kirikoff.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he just got a bad read on it there, or if it took a weird bounce, but it looked like he had his glove down there for a second, ready to field it, and then he just kind of pulled up and let it nutmeg him.
And here's a guy who has been absolutely on fire this season. Hayden Yasik, the graduate utility player from Bay City, Michigan. Played his past 4 seasons at Saginaw Valley State. And he is the main power threat in this lineup for the Golden Flashes. Looks at a first pitch strike, fastball down the middle. Nick Good getting ahead of both batters here so far today.
Yasik batting 4 bills this season. He's got 30 hits and 75 at-bats.
A 1.258 OPS for Hayden Yasik as we have a pickoff attempt by Nick Good. It was read pretty well by Kirikoff over there at first. Yasik is currently riding a 6-game hitting streak, batting .458 during that recent streak. Has 7 ribbies, 3 doubles, and 3 home runs over the past 6 games. Nick Good's next pitch to the plate. Off speed in there for a strike. He's ahead of Yasik, 0-2 in the count.
In yesterday's contest, Yasik put together a nice performance. He went 2 of 3, scored twice, batted in 3.
He's also walked 3 times yesterday.
Yeah, had a trio of walks.
Nick Good taking his time. He'll throw over to first once again. It's down to 1 on the pitch clock there. Seen a couple of pitch clock violations in this homestand. Usually don't see too many at the college or MLB level these days. These have been in place for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I feel like it's been to the point now where everyone should be at least somewhat used to it.
The 0-2 pitch by Nick Good just misses. Not by much there. Count moves to 1-2. Nobody out still here top of the first between Kent State, Bowling Green. Golden Flashes have a runner on first and Micah Kirikoff. Nick Good has Yasik down in the count, 1-2 at the plate. Good's payoff pitch. Swung on, grounded to third, fielded by Sloan. He'll go to Seidel at second for 1, over to first, not in time. So they do get the force out over at second, but Yasik beats out the throw to first. Yasik and Kirikoff will switch spots, and there's 1 out on the board for the Falcons here.
I think what happened there was Sloan over at third base. He kind of had a little bit of trouble with the transition with the ball from his glove to his throwing hand, and that kind of delayed him a second, which I believe that's what allowed Yasik to pull into first save.
Jay Casey will step into the box for the Golden Flashes, batting .348 here so far this season. First pitch fastball in there for a strike. Nick Good has gone ahead of all 3 Golden Flashes batters in the count here today.
Yeah, you beat me to it. 3 first pitch strikes. I mean, that's a recipe for success for sure, getting ahead of these batters early. We saw yesterday quite a bit of an issue with both sides starting behind in the count.
Another fastball in there for a strike. He has Casey down in the count, 0-2. Second straight batter Nick Good has gone ahead of, 0-2. This is what you love to see from Nick Good. If he can attack that strike zone early and often, it's usually a recipe of success for the left-hander.
Now try and get something low here to force a ground ball. He
goes high. It misses. Count goes to 1-2. Could be trying to change those eye levels a little bit and try to drop this next pitch down low like you were referencing, Reese. Casey ranking second in the MAC in OPS. Dangerous hitter at the plate. The lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch is grounded over to first, fielded by Birchmeyer. He'll turn, throw to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. So back-to-back fielder's choices here for the Falcons. Golden Flashes will still have a runner on first in Casey, and there's 2 outs in the inning.
I mean, You can't complain about it because you got to take your outs however you can get them. You got 2 outs now, and all you really need to do is, once again, just either, get the ball up in the air, get under it, or get another grounder, and good to go.
Solitaria, right-handed batter, up to bat. The designated hitter for Kent State. Good's first pitch to him. Misses for a ball. First pitch ball, and an at-bat for Nick Good here today.
Solitary, an 0 for 5 performance yesterday. Not great.
Left 4 runners on base in his at-bats. Tough day in the office for him, looking to rebound here today. Good's next pitch. This is driven to left center field, and it's going to get past Gannon out there and go to the wall. Gannon will field it. Rounding third and coming home is going to be Casey, and he'll come all the way around from first to score on the RBI double by Sawyer Solitaria. Kent State up 1-0 early.
Solitary already, as I just mentioned, with more hits than he had yesterday. He's and more RBIs as well. He saw a pitch that he liked. He took it on a ride out to left center field and placed it just out of the reach of Gavin Gannon, who just wasn't fast enough to get to it before it got into the alley and hit the wall.
As we mentioned, Bowling Green is no stranger to the opponent scoring first this season. The Falcons have a winning record, a 10-2 record, in fact, when the opponent does score first against them. Brody Williams into the box for the Golden Flashes. First pitch by Nick Good to him. Misses just a bit on the outside. Garrett Wright's frame job. Couldn't get it called. Behind the plate today is Scott Inman. Over at first is Dorsey Hager. And over at third is John Sapphire. Same umpiring crew from yesterday, just the rotation between them. Good's 1-0 pitch. Misses up high, so the count goes to 2-0. First batter we've really seen Nick Good fall behind to the count in.
Williams had a pretty good day yesterday and went 2 of 3 with a run scored and an RBI, walked once.
Riding a 9-game hitting streak is Brody Williams, batting .387 during that recent run. As this one misses down low, count 3-0 on Brody Williams.
And this is kind of the situation we saw yesterday with a lot of these pitchers. They were just missing the zone either high. It was a little either too high or a little too low, and we're starting to see more of the same today.
And this one also misses. So a 4-pitch walk to Brody Williams, his 15th walk drawn of the season. He only has 8 strikeouts, so a very good strikeout to walk ratio for Brody Williams. That is why he's 10th in the MAC in on-base percentage. So Kent State has a runner on first and second here with 2 outs in the top of the first. Brody Williams at first, Sawyer Solitaria at second. Golden Flash is up 1-0 over the Falcons. Hunter Klotz into the batter's box. Nick Good's first pitch to him. Klotz thought about going, held back. It's called a strike at the plate by Inman. Klotz this season batting .280. First batter in this lineup that we have seen batting under .300 for Kent State. They only have 3 of them in the entire lineup. Klotz grounds this over right side. That's going to get past side out into the outfield. Rounding third is Solitaria. Throw in from Parker's going to be cut off. It's going to be an RBI single for Hunter Klotz. Brody Williams moves from first to third, and Kent State has runners at the corners with 2 outs, up 2-0 in the top of the first.
And this is a situation that we saw happen yesterday with Bowling Green and Kent State. They fell down 2-0 early. It was 3-1 at one point, and we saw them rally and come back, and we've got a similar situation brewing here just a little bit earlier than anticipated. Now you got runners at the corners. You've had 2 out for now. This is going to be the 5th batter you've had 2 down for. Got to find a way to get out of this inning before Kent State can put up any more damage.
Alejandro Covas, the left fielder for Kent State, up to bat. Covas, a .372 hitter this season. First pitch ball on the off-speed that runs inside on the right-hander.
Had a great day yesterday, 3 of 5 day, scored 2 runs. Ended the game with 3 straight singles and 3 straight at-bats in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings.
Good's 1-0 pitch. Misses up high. Count goes to 2-0. Nick Good, after getting a few early outs on a couple fielders' choices, has started to struggle with the location after being pretty spot on over the first 3 or 4 batters. Kovas this season, slugging .512, does have pop in the bat. As that one misses just a bit high on the fastball, 3-0. Runners on first and third for Kent State. Hunter Klotz on first, Brody Williams on third. Golden Flash is up 2-0 in the top of the first. There are 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch, the 3-0 pitch, I should say, catches the zone. Count moves to 3-1 for Nick Good.
Barely able to catch the top inside corner of the zone there and avoid a 4-pitch walk for the second time this inning.
Good from the stretch. That one does miss high, just a bit higher than the previous pitch, and the bases are going to be loaded on the 5-pitch walk by Nick Good. And second walk of the inning for Good.
That's going to bring up Ripken Reese, the starting second baseman, batting .227 so far this season, the sophomore. But the last time he came in with the bases loaded, that was yesterday in the 7th inning. He ripped a bases-clearing triple to help extend that Kent State lead.
And we're going to have an early mound visit here by Kyle Halleck. I don't see anybody warming up in that bullpen for Bowling Green. So just situational awareness here, trying to calm down Nick Good.
Just trying to clear the mind. I mean, you have a situation where you've walked 2 batters, you've allowed an RBI double, an RBI single, and now you've got the bases juiced. Just clear the head. Forget what you have behind you and off to your sides. Obviously, you can't really clear the guy at third base out of your mind, or first base out of your mind, because you're going to be staring him down. But you got to just forget what you have on the bases right now. Focus on Ripken Reese in front of you and try and just get out of this inning before any more damage happens.
Ripken Reese this season, the 8-hole hitter for the Golden Flashes, batting just .227. He has 3 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, and 6 runs batted in. He's got ducks on the pond here for him. Nick Good's first pitch of the at-bat, swung on and fouled to the back. Nick Good will start ahead in the count.
It looked like that ball, which was smoked off of the bat coming backwards, it looked like it was going to barely clear the net.
Alejandro Kovas stands on first, Hunter Klotz on second, Brody Williams on third. Nick Good's pitch to Ripken Reese at the plate. Swung on and tipped at the plate. 0-2.
I think Reese here is getting antsy a little bit. He's trying to recreate that success from yesterday's 7th inning, trying to rip another triple.
Bases loaded for Kent State with 2 outs in the top of the first. They lead Bowling Green early 2-0. The 0-2 pitch from Nick Good. Just a bit high and outside. Count moves to 1-2.
I don't hate that pitch there from Good. You get Reese to chase on 2 pitches outside on the last two pitches. So then you try and raise it up on him, get his eyes up. Now maybe go back down low.
Payoff pitch from Nick Good. Got a little bit of a check swing at the plate, but the pitch was low. And Ripken Reese did a tremendous job of holding up. So the count goes even to 2-2 with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Nick Good from the windup. The left-hander delivers. Just a bit up and inside. Count goes full to 3-2. Biggest pitch of the game upcoming by Nick Good. The left-hander delivers to the plate with the runners going, and he gets a swing and a miss on the off-speed. Gets out of the bases-loaded jam with the strikeout, his first strikeout of the game, but not before. Kent State strikes for 2 in the top of the first. We head to the bottom of the first. Bowling Green coming up to bat for the first time today, down 2-0. You're listening to BGSU Baseball right here on Falcon Radio. For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Kent State up early over Bowling Green after the top of the first, 2-0. Falcons getting ready to come up to bat here for the first time today. Once again, the batting order for Bowling Green. It'll be T.J. Tackett's leading off, Garrett Wright hitting second, D.J. Newman third, Brady Birchmeyer hitting cleanup, Sam Seidel in the 5-hole, Keenan Parker batting sixth, Garrett Sloan seventh, Gavigan on eighth, and Gunnar Antillian at ninth. The defensive positioning for Kent State: Williams behind the plate and Bean on the mound. That is the battery for the Golden Flashes. Klotz is over at first. Ripken Reese is at second. Marshall's at short. Yasik is over at third. Kovas in left. Kirikov in center. And Casey in right. And can you tell us a little bit about Kent State starter here today, Jacob Bean, Reese?
Yeah, Jacob Bean, he is a 6'3" sophomore righty from Middlefield, Ohio, about 2.5 hours away from here, somewhere between Cleveland and Youngstown. He dons the number 5, 1 and 2 this season in decisions, making his 6th start of 2025. 6.41 ERA in 19 2/3 innings pitched, led up 24 hits, 17 runs, 14 of those earned, and a 16-8 strikeout to walk ratio. So certainly not in bad numbers there, and in a bad opposing batting average allowed. He's allowed hitters to hit off of him at a 293 clip.
Solid numbers there from Bean. Not a high walk guy, so he's going to make Bowling Green work for their hits. And T.J. Tackett's going to lead things off for Bowling Green. He's been hot as of late, especially since getting moved to this leadoff spot during this homestand. A home run in 3 straight games for T.J. Tackett's. He looks at a first pitch ball by Bean.
And he was the hero of yesterday's game, obviously. He hit a solo shot in the third to get Bowling Green on the board, and he, of course, as we know, hit the walk-off error yesterday to bring around Gunnar Antillian.
And Tackett's one of 2 left-handers in the batting order for Bowling Green today. The other one, Sam Seidel. We'll see if Tackett's is able to do something with a pitch here today and send this out to right field. Take advantage of the wind, as you were talking about. That's going to be a big thing to watch with all of these left-handed batters all game long. But Tackett's has not seen one to hit so far. He's up to the count 3-0 as Bean struggling with command early on. Bean working from the windup. His 3-0 pitch to Tackett's misses inside, so a 4-pitch walk to T.J. Tackett's to lead things off here for Bowling Green.
And you'll take what you can get. Got the first guy on, and now you've got, the best part of your order coming up here. You got Wright, Newman, Birchmeyer for the next 3, and Wright, who had a great day yesterday, 3 of 4, 2 ribbies and a run scored. Had 3 singles in the first, 4th, and 8th. Came around to score once. RBI single and a sac fly as well yesterday for Bowling Green's backstop.
Garrett Wright off to another tremendous season this year after winning MAC Freshman of the Year last year. And now it's 5 straight balls by Jacob Bean on the mound. That one missing wildly outside with the off-speed into the other batter's box. Nice job of Brody Williams sliding over to catch it. Garrett Wright batting .410 this season, as finally Jacob Bean does find the strike zone for the first time today. Count goes even to 1-1.
And that looked awfully close as well. I think that just barely caught the bottom outside corner of the zone.
.410 batting average for Garrett Wright, second best on the team. He holds the best on-base percentage at .528, as first pickoff attempt of the day by Jacob Bean over at first, but T.J. Tackett's back in well enough time. Wright has increased his power numbers this year, slugging .718, the best mark for Bowling Green, as this one moves up and hits him. So Garrett Wright has now taken sole possession of first place with 33 hit-by pitches in his Bowling Green career. He moves past T.J. Blannon, who set that record from 2007 to 2010 with the Falcons, and the pitch magnet gets a free 90 feet over to first base for Bowling Green. Falcons with runners on first and second with nobody out here at the bottom of the first, as Jacob Bean really struggles with the command early on.
I just want to know who Garrett Wright upset in a past life to end up getting plunked this much. I mean, I don't know anyone personally who deserves that kind of beat up, getting plunked 33 times in a year and a half.
He's only a sophomore.
Yeah, a year
still,
and a
so
half.
It's quite an accomplishment, we can say. I mean, that is a record to hold.
Yeah, accomplishment is certainly a word.
He's a guy that's not afraid to get hit by a pitch and take a free 90 feet, and we saw another example of it right there as DJ Newman steps into the box, looks at a first pitch ball up high.
And you got to appreciate a guy like that who's willing to do the dirty work for the team and take that free 90 feet.
That's why his on-base percentage is .528 this season after riding around .500 last year. Newman takes a big swing at this one, fouls it off to the back behind us up here in the press box. Count moves even to 1-1. Still nobody out here, bottom of the first. Kent State leads Bowling Green 2-0. Garrett Wright stands on first after being hit his 33rd time in his Bowling Green career, setting a new program record. TJ Tackett's walked to lead off things for Bowling Green. He stands on second. Nice off speed by Bean, catches the zone, froze Newman there. Count moves to 1-2.
That was great. Had him on the heat the last pitch, and then you slow it down on him, catch him in between. Great pitch there, and now you're ahead in the count 1-2.
Working from the stretch, the payoff pitch by Beam. Off speed, fouled off to the right side by Newman. Nice job of staying alive. DJ went 1 for 5 yesterday. His only hit was a solo shot to left center field, driving in himself on a solo home run. Struck out once, did not walk.
And back to Wright, I feel like if you look under his arm sleeve, it looks like he got like the cupping treatment that a lot of athletes get, just big purple welts.
As that fastball misses just a bit outside by Bean. So Newman stays alive at the plate after the good take. Counts even 2-2. DJ Newman, the preseason first-team All-American, as a two-way player, awaits the payoff pitch by Bean right down the middle for strike 3 on the fastball. Froze him up with the heat, and Bean gets his first out and first strikeout of the game, sending DJ Newman back to the dugout and bringing up Brady Birchmeyer.
Yeah, Bean did a great job there of keeping Newman kind of in between on his timing, worked in the fastball and the off speed perfectly to kind of catch Newman off guard with what he was throwing.
Brady Birchmeyer has been the breakout player for Bowling Green this season. First pitch, check swing, almost ran in and hit his hands. He'll start from ahead of the count, 1-0. Birchmeyer, .347 at the plate this season. He has 5 doubles, 7 home runs, and 30 runs batted in. The 30 RBIs lead the Mid-American Conference. Curveball catches the outside corner at 4 strike. Count goes even to 1-1. Birchmeyer's really solidified his spot over there at first and in this cleanup spot in the batting order. The 1-1 pitch by Bean. Fastball almost dots the outside corner, but just a bit outside, says Scott Inman behind the plate. Count moves to 2-1.
I feel like Williams' frame job there was good enough to maybe warrant something down low, but that strike zone shrinking a little bit.
The 2-1 pitch by Bean, swung on and dribbled at the plate, but it goes off of Brady Birchmeyer's foot. So it'll be a foul ball. Birchmeyer will take a second and walk this one off as we're back even in the count, 2-2.
And that can't feel good in this weather. 45 degrees outside, at least at the time of first pitch. Feels like 29 out there. So a nice, crisp spring day here in Bowling Green. And I use the word spring lightly because it certainly doesn't feel like it.
2-2 on Birchmeyer. Jacob Bean comes set from the stretch. Swing and a miss on the high heat. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jacob Bean after walking TJ Tackett's and hitting Garrett Wright. And there's now 2 outs for the Golden Flashes here in the bottom of the first. Chance for Jacob Bean to escape the inning without allowing any damage.
And I think in this situation, this is the guy you want up. You have Sam Seidel striding in. He took 3 walks yesterday, 1 of 2 on the day with a run scored. But as I just said, walked 3 times. So you got a guy who's pretty darn good at getting on base even if he doesn't put the ball in play.
He's really also started to heat up this season. .310 batting average after a slow start. As he said, a high on-base guy. His on-base percentage over 400 this year. Looks at a first pitch ball on the fastball outside. He is a left-hander. He's the other lefty in this batting order for Bowling Green, him and TJ Tackett's. Not the biggest power guy, but he does have 3 home runs and 3 doubles this year. Has added a little bit of pop to his bat this season. Fastball misses up high. Seidel not the largest target there at the plate for the strike zone. Standing at 5'10", 182 from Greenwich, Ohio. Attended South Central High School. The 2-0 pitch by Bean. Misses inside. Count goes to 3-0.
Quick thinking there from Seidel. Had to get out of the way of that one quickly. That one was coming in hot.
That's one of those Garrett Wright just stays in the same spot for it. Takes it to the hip, but Sam Seidel moves out of the way of it. And he'll see another pitch in this at-bat. The 3-0 delivery from Bean. Misses outside, a 4-pitch walk to Sam Seidel. The second 4-pitch walk of the inning for Jacob Bean. And that'll load the bases up here for the Falcons with Caden Parker coming up to bat.
Parker yesterday batted at a 250 clip, 1 of 4 days, scored a run. He had a single and came around to score in the 4th inning.
And we are going to have a mound visit here. Nobody warming up in that Kent State bullpen just yet. Similar to the mound visit that we saw Kyle Halleck make for Nick Good in the top of the first. It's great again to hear this Wii Sports music and these mound visits here on Wii Sports Day at Stellar Field.
I tell you what, Tyler, I had some great memories growing up, schooling my cousins in Wii baseball, Wii bowling.
What's your favorite one out of the Wii Sports Classics?
I will say, once we found out where to get nunchucks, boxing was awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed boxing.
It's a good cardio workout, too.
It is really great because, when they start dancing around the ring, well, then you start doing it, too. Or at least, I don't know about you, I start doing it, too.
I always loved, though, the tennis one with the wall.
Yeah.
And the
with
targets.
the target? Oh, yeah.
I was always the kid that tried to punch the hole in the wall as soon as I can, so I never got that high on the targets. I think maybe 7 was my best high on that one. Either way, Caden Parker up to bat here for Bowling Green. Bases loaded for him, 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Bowling Green trailing Kent State 2-0. First pitch is a fastball that catches the outside. Parker thought about going, held back.
Noticing an inconsistency over there on that right edge of the strike zone. It felt like
it's not really defined here so far.
Felt like that was called a ball quite a few times over the last.
This one does miss pretty well outside on the off speed, just trailing off. Big sweeping curveball for Jacob Bean. Caden Parker, 5'8", 169 from Westland, Oregon. Senior outfielder awaits the 1-1 pitch. Check swing at the plate, but it's called a fastball anyways by Inman. Count moves to 1-2. This season, Caden Parker, a .246 hitter, has driven in 14 runs. From the windup, the 1-2 delivery from Bean. Got him up. Right down the middle there. The low fastball. Got him looking. And that'll be the end of the inning. So both pitchers work out of trouble here in the first. But it's Kent State who capitalizes a little more. They scored 2 runs in the top of the first to hold that lead after the end of the first frame. And we head to the top of the second. Golden Flash is coming up to bat once again here on Falcon Radio.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM. Back here on Falcon Radio at Stellar Field, Tyler Cavlitz alongside Reese Patricus here with you for this one. Clouds a little scattered out here, but all in all, not the worst of weather. I think we were expecting a little worse with this game being pushed back. I think we were expecting a little colder, a little higher winds, but ended up not being too bad here today. 45 miles per hour, about 17 mile per hour winds, which is a little lower than what we've had for a lot of these games in this homestand.
Yeah, I mean, is there really ever truly, unless you're in a downpour, which in that situation the game probably wouldn't be played anyways, is there really ever a bad day to play baseball, Tyler? I know I was kind of busting your chops about it earlier in the Convergence Lab in the Cooling Center about how you said it's a day for baseball, and I said, well, Tyler, no, because there's never a bad day for baseball.
There never is.
No.
That's why it's the greatest sport in the world. First pitch here by Nick Good to Brady Marshall is in there for a strike.
America's pastime for a reason.
Marshall, the 9-hole hitter for Kent State. After him, we go back to the top of the order. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and fouled over to the right side, past the bleachers. Count moves to 0-2. This is the Nick Good that we saw in the start of the first inning, attacking the strike zone early on. He fell off with that location as we went on through the inning. We'll see how he goes in the second. And that one just misses, not by much at the plate.
Marshall coming off yesterday, 0 for 4 game. He had a walk in the 6th inning, struck out twice, grounded out to second and third base to finish the day as he waves at that one.
Swing and a miss on the big off-speed 1-2 pitch by Nick Good. Sends him down packing for the second straight strikeout for Nick Good. And we go back to the top of the order with Micah Kirikoff.
Singled his last time up back in the first, took a 1-0 pitch.
First pitch to Kirikoff. Swing and a miss on the off speed, down and outside. Nick Good ahead of the count once again. It's going to be the key for Nick Good here today. If he can get ahead of these batters, that's really determines how good these Nick Good starts are, because he is someone that is susceptible to a decent amount of walks in a start. 7 walks over the past 2 starts in 7 innings combined.
Yeah, it's been rough for him, as you mentioned, over those last couple of starts, but he seems to be settling in here.
This one swung on and fouled on the ground to the left side. Count moves to 1-2.
He's gotten ahead of, it feels like he's gotten ahead of just about every single batter except for Williams back in the first when he walked him on a 4-pitch walk.
Kovas also walked back in that first inning. Swing and a miss here. And Nick Good has 3 straight strikeouts, 2 early outs here in the top of the second.
Yeah, and you'll absolutely take those. And not to be that guy, Tyler, but I will say most of Kent State's damage done in the last inning was with 2 outs. So you can't necessarily think you're out of the woods just yet, especially with the big power threat stepping in Hayden Yasik.
I think we definitely learned that in yesterday's game. Can't count either of these teams out, no matter what point in the inning we are. First pitch ball to Yasik. Yasik was safe on a fielder's choice in the top of the first. Back-to-back fielder's choices. As this one misses inside. So Good falls behind Yasik, 2-0. And this is about the time we started to see Nick Good's location go in the first inning when he got these 2 outs. Good working from the windup. Misses up high and outside for a ball, 3-0.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe he is just a little bit scared of Yasik. Who
just feels like his pace is picking up here, too. I mean, I don't think we'd question if he is pitching around Yasik a little bit as he throws in a fastball there at the belt. Count goes to 3-1.
I certainly would probably. This is probably the guy I would pitch around as well in this Kent State lineup.
Him and Casey are the 2 big hitters in this lineup for Kent State. Swing and a miss there.
Count runs
by
full.
Yasik. Like you said, count is full, 3-2 with 2 outs, top of the second. Kent State looking to keep the inning alive with Yasik at the plate. Nick Good, the left-hander, still working from the windup. His payoff pitch got him down the middle with the fastball. Nick Good, 4 straight strikeouts for the lefty. He sets Kent State down in order here in the top of the second. We go to the bottom half of the frame. Bowling Green coming up to bat once again, looking to get on the board for the first time here today. You're listening to BGSU Baseball on Falcon Radio.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X. Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Back here at Stellar Field, we head to the bottom of the second. Kent State still up on Bowling Green 2-0. But how about Nick Good? 4 straight strikeouts for the lefty, coming off his highest strikeout total of the season last time out with 8. And he's already up to 4 through 2 innings, evading some trouble in that first before mowing down Kent State 1-2-3 in the second.
Yeah, he's really looked like he's settled in after an early scare there in the first inning. Loaded the bases off of a couple of walks, allowed 2 runs, of course, and then he seems to have really dialed in a little bit. He looks like he's really, really focused on the strike zone. I think he's finally found it, and he's able to hit it pretty efficiently and keep the ball out of the reach of some of these Golden Flash batters.
It'll be Garrett Sloan leading things off here for Bowling Green. Sloan, the 7-hole hitter for the Falcons. We will then go to Gavin Gannon and Gunnar Antillion to round out the 7, 8, 9 holes for Bowling Green. This one tapped up the middle, fielded at short there by Marshall, and a tremendous throw to beat Sloan over at first for the first out of the inning. Sloan just tapped that one up the middle, and nothing he could do on the tremendous play by Marshall.
Yeah, it looked like he might have been able to beat it out there for a second. It was right out of the reach of Bean, who tried to make a play on it, dribbled very slowly to Marshall, and it looked like he had a chance to beat it out, but he just was a touch behind. And it's weird to see Marshall make a play like that, because we saw twice yesterday where there were a couple easy fielding plays that he just missed.
First pitch in there for a strike to Gavin Gannon. Gannon yesterday 2 for 5, drove in 3 runs, had a home run, also struck out 3 times. This one misses outside for a ball, 1-1. Kyle Halleck said when that wind's blowing, all Gannon has to do is touch it. Called him the strongest guy on this Bowling Green team.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense why he says that. He's got 4 home runs this season. He's
big swing and a foul back, I should say, by Gannon. Count goes to 1-2.
Power threat every time he steps into the plate, whether it's going to be just a regular extra base hit for a double or whether he's taking one for a ride out into the forest to be on the wall.
.583 slugging percentage for Gavin Gannon here this season. The 1-2 pitch got him with the off speed. Jacob Bean, beautiful pitch, locking up Gavin Gannon at the plate. That is the one thing, if you can have a knock on Gavin Gannon, then he is a little streaky at the plate and tends to strike out a little higher than the average player. That his first time down today, went down and strikes 3 times yesterday.
Yeah,
and that's the 4th strikeout of the game for Jacob Bean.
He really, I was going to say he's similar to like Joey Gallo in the MLB, although now he's a pitcher. He's one of the true 3 outcome guys where he's either going to give you a homer or he's going to strike out or he's going to walk, but he only really covers 2 of those 3 bases. He's either going to homer or he's going to strike out.
Yeah. fouled off at the plate. First pitch by Gunnar Antillion. 9-hole hitter. If he can get on, we go back to the top of the order with TJ Tackett. Antillion batting just .250 this season as he fouls this one off to the right side over towards the parking lot for Slater Family Ice Arena. And he's down the count 0-2.
Had a big part in that walk-off win yesterday. He hit the double to set up TJ Tackett to bring him home on the error to second base.
This one misses just a bit outside with the fastball. Count goes 1-2, and I don't think his base running can be overlooked. He put his head down and did not look up as that ball was fumbled there at second. You see a lot of scenarios where those guys look up or hesitate whether they go home or not. He did not, coming all the way from second to score. Tremendous base running by Gunnar Antillion at the end of yesterday's game, and he's now worked the count even to 2-2.
Yeah, I think in yesterday's game, he kind of decided as soon as he took his feet off of second base, okay, I'm coming home no matter what happens. And it worked out in his favor that time.
This one outside for a ball. Count goes full to 3-2. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Bowling Green trails Kent State 2-0 early. Antillion, the 9-hole hitter, looking to keep the inning alive for the Falcons. Get it back to the top of the lineup with TJ Tackett. Payoff pitch by Bean. This one driven to left field, fairly deep. Kovas doesn't have to move much, takes a few steps in, and makes the catch to end the inning. Kent State leading 2-0 after 2 innings complete. Here at Stellar Field, we go to the top of the third. You're listening to BGSU Baseball right here on Falcon Radio.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
BG Gymnastics heads to Mount Pleasant, Michigan for the MAC Championship on Saturday, March 22nd at 2 p.m. Read the recap by Falcon Media Sports Network's Sam Morris on bgfalconmedia.com.
Nick Good has 4 straight strikeouts for Bowling Green. Set Kent State down in order in the top of the second. Looking to do the same thing here in the top of the third. He will face the 3-4-5 batters for the Golden Flashes in Jake Casey, Sawyer Solitaria, and Brody Williams. What have you seen so far from Good in this performance, Reese?
Yeah, I've seen kind of two sides of a coin here with Nick Good. We saw in the first inning some struggles with the command, some struggles with the control, unable to locate with his pitches, struggling to find the zone. But as we saw in that last inning, he really dialed it in. 3 strikeouts, sent the Flashes down 1-2-3. I think he's really kind of dialed in here, and we'll see if he can keep it going here as we lead off the third with Jake Casey.
Casey, his first time up, hit safely into a fielder's choice. Came around to score in the first inning. Looks at a first pitch fastball by Good. Once again, that's the key for Nick Good, is getting ahead of these Kent State batters.
He's done a fantastic job of doing so. We've seen, I feel like most of these at-bats have started in strikes.
Off speed there, curveball by Good. Missed a bit outside. Not by much.
No, not by much at all, and Wright did a good job of framing that, in my opinion. I think that probably would have fooled me down there.
The 1-1 pitch by Nick Good from the windup. Swung on and missed at the plate by Casey. Count goes to 1-2. Casey looked a little late on that one. Good takes a deep breath at the plate. Goes into his windup. The kick, the delivery. Fouled off at the plate by Casey. He stays alive. Just got a piece of that one to send it to the back in the netting.
I saw that quite a bit yesterday where there were multiple at-bats kept alive by multiple pitches just because guys were able to get the tip of the bat onto the baseball.
Goods curveball misses a bit outside. Wright tried to frame that one up, but couldn't get the call at the plate, so the count goes even to 2-2. Good taking his time on the mound. Goes into his windup. The fastball got the outside corner. Five straight strikeouts for Nick Good.
Yeah, you can't complain about that, right? I mean, he looks like he lost it there for a second, and then he was able to get him right back, and that one painted the outside corner. That was a beautiful off-speed pitch there from Nick Good.
Tremendous job by Nick Good on that one. As Sawyer Solitaria steps up to the plate. Swing and a miss on the first pitch by Solitaria. Nick Good gets ahead of yet another batter. Solitaria, his first time up, an RBI double. That drove in Jake Casey. The 0-1 pitch by Nick Good. This one grounded over to the right side. Going to be fielded by Seidel at second. He'll throw over to Brady Birchmeyer for the second out of the inning.
There we go. No trouble with it that time. We saw in the first inning, Seidel had a little bit of trouble. He was lining up with a ball that was hit over in that direction, able to find it there and throw it over onto first for the second out.
That'll bring up Brody Williams. Walked his first time up.
The catcher, Brody Williams.
The first walk of the game by Nick Good. He advanced all the way to third when Kent State had the bases loaded in the top of the first, but was stranded there at the end of the inning. Good's first pitch to Williams. Fastball dots the outside corner as the wind begins to pick up a little bit here at Stellar Field.
You can feel it blowing in through the press box. I feel like it's coming in through the cracks.
We can see all the netting here moving. It's really pushing out towards that right side pretty definitively as it's fouled off at the plate by Williams. So an 0-2 count on Brody Williams at the plate. Nick Good looking for his second straight 1-2-3 inning. Good from the windup. The payoff pitch. Got him to swing and miss on the outside. 6 straight golden flashes set down in order by Nick Good as we head to the bottom of the third. Bowling Green coming up the bat, still looking for their first run on the board. Kent State leads 2-0 right here on Falcon Radio. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Back here at Stellar Field, Kent State leading Bowling Green 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. What do you want to see from these Bowling Green bats to get alive after they're set down in order in the bottom of the second, Reese?
Tyler, I'd just like to see a hit. To be quite honest with you, they've had three guys on base, but it was a walk, a hit by pitch by Tackett and Wright respectively, and then another walk by Sam Seidel. I would just like to see bat make contact with the ball and the ball get put in play. That's really what I'm looking for. We almost saw it there at the end of the second inning with Gunnar Antillion. He was able to put a drive on a baseball, but it was sent straight to left field, and Alejandro Covas was able to corral it to end the second inning. So I would just like to see some metal hit leather and get down in the grass.
Falcons have top of the order here with T.J. Tackett, Garrett Wright, D.J. Newman. First pitch by Bean to Tackett. Beautiful off speed. Catches the zone. Bean gets ahead in the count, 0-1. Tackett's his first time up, walked. before reaching third and being stranded there at the end of the inning. Miss inside by Bean in the dirt. Count goes even to 1-1. Tackett's a very patient hitter at the plate. Has a .506 on base percentage. He's walked 17 times and struck out just 10 this season. Big swing and a miss at the plate by Tackett's. Count goes to 1-2.
Yeah, he really waved at that one strong. It looked like he was getting ready to take that one for a ride, and he just whiffed on it.
He doesn't have to do much with Wynn today, the left-handed Tackett's. The 1-2 pitch by Bean. Tackett's check swing didn't go nearly far enough to be around. And that pitch was low. We finally do have a check down to third base. John Sapphire says no. So the count will go to 2-2. Really late check down there to Sapphire.
And I feel like the wind has kind of shifted a little bit. When the game started, it was blowing straight towards Slater Ice Arena. Now it's kind of shifted over into right center.
Yeah, this curveball misses inside. Count goes full to 3-2. Tackett's yesterday at 3 for 5. The hero at the end of the game, driving in the run on the booted grounder at second by Ripken Reese. Payoff pitch by Bean, got the outside corner. That one looked like it may have missed by a little bit on that corner, but Scott Inman gives him the call. And Tackett's is down on strikes.
Yeah, Tackett's was already flipping his bat over for someone to grab and bring back to the dugout when he was rung up by Inman. And he's not happy with that one. I don't think many of the fans are happy with that one either, but
nothing he can do about it there as Garrett Wright steps up to the plate. First pitch swinging for Wright. Grounds this one foul to the right side. Wright also a patient hitter at the plate. Took sole possession of first place for most hit by pitches in Bowling Green history last time up to bat. The sophomore has been hit by 33 pitches in his Bowling Green career, passing T.J. Blanton's 32 from 2007 to 2010. Wright swinging once again, pops this one up foul to the right side, fairly deep to the right side. You can really see the effects of the wind carrying that ball. That was a pretty normal fly ball over to right that just kept carrying. If that was fair, that would have been close to warning track.
And I think that baseball is going to be out of commission now. Looks like a big old black lab over there just picked it up and thinks he's playing a game now.
That'll be a fun one to get back as it's swung on and missed. At the plate by Garrett Wright. Looked like it may have been a foul tip, but it was just Williams unable to catch the ball. But back-to-back strikeouts here for Jacob Bean, his 6th strikeout of the day.
Designated hitter, DJ Newman.
Brings up DJ Newman, the junior two-way star for Bowling Green, serving as the designated hitter today for the Falcons. Fastball catches the outside corner to start the at-bat for Bean.
Won a 5-day yesterday, as we mentioned back in the first inning. That one hit, it was a big one. It got the rally started for Bowling Green. It was a solo shot.
Swinging and chopping this one over to the first base side is Newman, and it's going to be flipped by Klotz to Bean, covering over at the bag. And that's just like good. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Jacob Bean. So we're going to switch things up here a little bit like yesterday. Reese, you're going to take over play-by-play for the next 3 innings. But before we do that, I do want to introduce the trivia question. So I'm going to introduce this now. We're going to take a little longer break before we reveal it today. We'll reveal it when I come back on the air, top of the 7th. But since it is Wii Sports Day here today at Stellar Field, the question is, when was Wii Sports released? Was it A, 2006, B, 2008, C, 2009, or D, 2005? So really any time from 2005 to 2009, I'm just mixing up the years a little bit there.
Trying to keep me on my toes and
just a little bit. So you'll have some time to think over that one. We'll reveal that in the top of the 7th. But we head to the top of the 4th. Reese Patricus taking over play-by-play. Kent State leads Bowling Green 2-0 right here on Falcon Radio.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the US EPA.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Seven straight retired by Nick Good brings us to the top of the fourth inning. Hunter Klotz leading things off with a strike called as we get back underway here from Stellar Field. Top of the fourth inning, Reese Patrikas, Tyler Kavlitz to my right. Happy to have the folks along here with me. The 0-1 pitch from Nick Good, swung on, dribbled over to second base. Sam Seidel fields it cleanly. Throw over to first, well in time to send down Hunter Klotz. One down for the Orange and Brown.
And once again, the theme continues of Nick Good getting ahead of these Golden Flashes batters. If he can continue to do that, he can continue to have success out there on the mound for the Falcons.
Left fielder Alejandro Kovas steps into the right-handed batter's box. 0 for 0 today. He had a walk back in the first inning. Didn't advance any further than first base. Fouls one back into the netting.
Looks like he was going for a bunt there on that one. Remember, we had the bunt yesterday that flew over the netting up on top of the press box. That one made it about halfway up the netting here behind home plate.
When I think of bunts like that, I think of, I don't know if you've seen it on social media, but there's a clip put together by the Cleveland Guardians. It's the Austin Hedges bunt home run as Kovas sends one over off down the first base line, curving foul.
I got to say, I love that clip.
It is a great clip.
It's
very
so well
funny.
edited. If you want to see a well-edited clip, look that up. The
it looks
Austin
seamless.
Hedges bunt home run.
It looks seamless.
Even the call, you would never know.
Exactly. Kovas down 0-2 in the count. One down for Bowling Green. Nobody on. Here in the top of the fourth inning. Kovas lines one in the hole between third and short, out into left field. Ganun gets it into the cutoff man to hold Kovas at first base. And that ends the streak of 8 straight retired for Nick Good.
And that's the first hit for Kent State since Hunter Klotz had a single, an RBI single, back in the top of the first for the Golden Flashes.
Kovas taking an 0-2 pitch out into left field for a single, brings on Ripken Reese.
One of the best baseball names, I got to say.
Truly. I mean, you can pull so many legends from those names. Obviously, Ripken, you tie that straight to Cal Ripken. His first pitch swung on, blooped into the alley, fielded by the right fielder, thrown back in. Parker able to get it in. And a close play at second base.
Tremendous effort by Gunnar Antillion. Got that throw in, and that was Kovas kind of walking back towards second, not really paying much attention. And a full sprint by Gunnar Antillion. Almost tagged him right before he stepped on the bag, but was just a tad late. But great effort there by Antillion trying to get a free out.
Yeah, I think Kovas just kind of overran second base, and it wasn't necessarily on his horse trying to get back on. And Antillion very, very close to getting him.
And you mentioned it before the game. You wanted to see a Bowling Green starter get length. And the Falcons still have nobody up in that bullpen. So Kyle Halleck putting full trust here in Nick Good to give him a long start.
Throwing down the bunt is Brady Marshall, fouled back. Going to start in another hole. Down 0-1. Marshall struck out back in the second. Go ahead.
We saw how the wind affected that last single, by the way, because that looked like a blooper more towards center field, and the wind completely took it to right center. It ended up being Parker, who was the closest to it right in front of him, when you would assume that it'd be Tackett's first to the ball, but the wind just playing tricks on the outfielders.
0-1 pitch to Marshall. Low and inside for ball one. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Marshall, 217 on the season, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Struggled yesterday fielding at the shortstop position. That's usually where you want to put your best glove. And maybe it comes down to Kent State used to playing on a turf field, some odd hops when you come to dirt, as the 1-1 pitch catches the outside corner for a strike, and Nick Good back in the driver's seat, up 2-1.
Not really going to question Jeff Duncan, though, the head coach for Kent State, 4-time MAC Coach of the Year, 2016, 17, 18, and 2023 most recently.
The 1-2 lined back up down into the middle. Tackett's making a run on it. Advancing 90 feet is everybody. Nobody coming home, and the bases are juiced with one down.
Great throw back in by Tackett's, holding up Kovas over there at third, but this now the second time that Nick Good's going to face a bases-loaded situation, this time with one out in the inning.
He was able to sneak out of it last time in the first inning, and that single is going to bring us back up to the top of the order to Micah Kirikoff.
Still nobody up in that bullpen for Bowling Green.
Kirikoff 1 for 2 today with a single back in the first and a strikeout in the second. One down, bases loaded for Kent State as Kirikoff waves at the first pitch.
If anything's hit the corners here, you can be pretty sure Bowling Green's going to home with it. Brady Birchmeyer, Garrett Sloan playing basically on the cut of the grass in the infield.
The 0-1 from Good. In there low for a ball.
And you'd love to get a double play with this guy up and not have to face Yasik with the bases loaded. Give him an opportunity.
Certainly. He's been quiet today. He reached safely on a fielder's choice and struck out looking so far. As the 1-1 pitch is low and inside once more for ball 2. But yesterday, he had himself quite a loud day. 2 of 3, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and 3 walks as well. So you definitely don't want to face him in this situation. You want to get a ground ball here, and that's exactly what you get out of the reach of Good. Only 1 out able to be recorded. So a run will come across. It'll be a 3-0 Kent State lead.
Nick Good made a jumping effort at that, but was not able to reach it. Good, not the tallest guy out there on the mound. Could have used a few more inches to snag that one. But either way, the Falcons do get an out, and they avoid the bases loaded situation with Yasik up. And this is a big test for Nick Good here. Kent State has a chance to blow it open early.
2 down, 3-0 lead for Kent State. Nick Good trying to find what he had in the second and third innings. 2 on for Kent State, 2 in scoring position on second and third. 1 run has come across as Yasik gets into 1 out to left field. Ganun on it, and he's going to watch it sail over his head. That's a 3-run bomb for Hayden Yasik, his second of the series.
And that's why you wanted to avoid pitching to Hayden Yasik, because he can do something just like that. Yasik on the season, his 5th home run, and now his 23rd, 24th, and 25th runs batted in.
6-0 ball game now. Kent State on top here at Stellar Field. It's a 4-run 4th. Saw that happen yesterday, but in the favor of Bowling Green, they hung 4 in this inning. And Jake Casey going to stride in the lefty matchup here.
Not panic time yet for the Falcons. They've
Certainly.
come back from bigger deficits than 6 runs during this 11-game winning streak. I believe the biggest deficit is 7 runs. So it's teetering right on that.
Very close, yes.
Nick Good going to need to start doing some damage limitation here in this inning.
Casey fouls the first pitch over to the right. 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike, and Casey's already down 0-2 in the count. 2 strikes, 2 down, 6-0 baseball game here in the top of the 4th inning. Nobody on for Kent State following the 3-run blast by Hayden Yasik. 0-2 pitch high and outside for a ball. In the hole, Sawyer Solitaria had an RBI double back in the first, grounded out to Sam Seidel in the third. The 1-2 pitch once again fouled off to the right, almost nailed the first base coach for Kent State. Able to get out of the way, and we'll do it again at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down.
Going to have a pause here, maybe possibly a reset of that pitch clock.
Good, trying to get out of the inning. Fouled back into the backstop. Do it once more at 1-2. Casey reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning, came around to score on that RBI double from Solitaria. The 1-2 again, swung on and missed. Bat slammed into the ground, and that's going to end the top of the 4th inning. 3 runs put up by Kent State on that 3-run blast by Hayden Yasik. And Bowling Green going to come back up. It's going to be the 4, 5, 6 batters for the Orange and Brown. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Falcon baseball wraps up their homestand against Youngstown State on Tuesday, March 25th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Sam Morris will have the call starting at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The Bowling Green half of the fourth inning here from Stellar Field. Reese Patrikas, Tyler Kavelitz. Once again, happy to have folks along here with us. It's going to be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Bowling Green. Brady Birchmeyer makes his way into his batter's box. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout back in the first inning. Jacob Bean back out to try and work a fourth scoreless inning. He's got 6 strikeouts on the day so far. And his offense has given him quite the cushion to work with. It's a 6-0 lead as the first pitch is low for a ball.
And I know we talked about those numbers, the records that Bowling Green has when trailing late in games, but they're definitely going to want to start closing this deficit as fast as they can and not leave them a 6-run hole going into these later innings.
Birchmeyer pops one up on the infield, losing it in the sun. An acrobatic catch by Ripken Reese. Stuck his glove falling backwards, able to haul it in.
What a tremendous play by Ripken Reese. I mean, jumping up, basically falling on his back, throwing up that aqua blue glove into the sky, and just having the baseball fall in it. I mean, great recovery on that. Again, the wind just playing tricks. You're looking straight up, the sun behind us up here in the press box, so they're also looking up into that sun. And the wind pushing it behind all of them. But Reese, the midair adjustment to make that catch, tremendous play.
Certainly. It's a dastardly combo when you combine the wind of Bowling Green plus the sun as Sam Seidel steps in, walked back in the first inning. Bean with the delivery. High for a ball. Looked like that one was going to eke in there. Seidel's ahead 1-0. One down after Birchmeyer popped up to Ripken Reese. It looked like that ball was going to fall in between all 3 flash defenders as Seidel puts one into the dirt, fielded by the shortstop. Throw over to first in time to get Seidel. 6-3 put out, going to bring us down to Caden Parker. Playing right field today. Batting 6th in the order. Struck out looking back in the first.
The right fielder, Caden Parker.
2 down for the Falcons. Now a good a time as any to start getting on the bases. Yet to record a hit through 4 innings, or rather 3 2/3 innings.
And you look right now through the first time through the order, the bottom 4 in the lineup, 0 for 4. The Falcons got a lot of production in those bottom 4 in the order yesterday. Looking to replicate that here today, the second time through.
1-0 pitch, high and inside on Caden Parker, 2-0.
Yesterday, Parker with a hit. Sloan went hitless 0 for 5, but Gananen and Tillian 2 hits each in that 8 and 9 hole spot, resetting things for the top of the order for Bowling Green.
Always valuable to have guys there at the bottom of the order as the 2-0 pitch able to find the inside edge of the plate for strike number 1. It's a 2-1 count now, 2 down, 6-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Kent State, the Golden Flashes on top here at Stellar Field. The 2-1 pitch on the way, fouled back into the netting, going to even us up at 2-2.
And when we talked to Halleck after the game, he harped on how important that is for this team to get production out of those bottom spots, to reset it for the big hitters in Tackett's Wright, Newman, Birchmeyer, those sluggers at the top of the Bowling Green lineup.
Bean working from the wind, the 2-2 in the dirt, and that's going to fill us up.
Looks like he just overthrew that one, spiked in front of home plate, over towards the other batter's box. No one on base, but nice stop anyways by Brody Williams behind the plate.
Payoff pitch by Bean. Swung on, dribbled in the hole between third and short. First hit of the day for Bowling Green comes from Caden Parker on a 2-out single with a full count here in the bottom of the fourth. And the no-hitter's over for Jacob Bean.
Yeah, it was just downtime for Bowling Green because they had gotten solid contact. That was just the first one that found a hole. It was a matter of time for the Falcons before they got one. And Caden Parker with the first hit of the day. See if Garrett Sloan can keep the momentum going for the Falcons and get on base to bring up Gavin Gannon, slugger, in the bottom half of the lineup for the Falcons.
First pitch in for a called strike on Garrett Sloan. 0 for 1 today, grounded out to shortstop back in the second inning. 0 for 5 day yesterday. Throw back over to first, Parker back in time. Tag applied a little bit too late.
Didn't have a huge lead over there at first anyways.
Not even really much of a threat to steal. Just 5 attempts so far this season. Good on 3 of them. 0-1 pitch outside. Frame job by Williams. Not enough to fool the home plate umpire, Scott Inman. Even us up at 1-1.
Yeah, Parker yesterday, one of the 2 Falcons, along with TJ Tackett, caught stealing on the base pass.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down here in the Bowling Green half of the fourth inning. 1-1 pitch just inside for a ball.
Did not miss by much. We've seen that get called a couple of times here so far today.
Last 2 days, these home plate umpires have been very inconsistent with the edges of the zone, whether that's inside or outside. A tapper hit foul by Sloan, going to even us back up at 2.
It's what Bowling Green needs to do. They need to make Bean work for these outs on the mound. Past couple of innings, he's mowed down these Falcons in pretty quick order. They need to bring up that pitch count, try to get into this Golden Flashes bullpen after they had to pitch quite a few pitchers yesterday.
Nobody working in that Golden Flash bullpen. There is a body up and warming for Bowling Green.
Right-hander for the Falcons up in their pen.
2-2 pitch in on Sloan, and it plunked him.
Hit him up in that upper left arm area, more towards the shoulder. He'll shake that off, and that'll bring up Gavin Gannon, guy you want to see up to bat here with 2 on and 2 outs.
For sure. We saw what he did yesterday. He was able to tag a home run, brought in 3.
And that's the first time we've really seen the control get out of hand there for Bean since the first inning. He had 2 walks and a hit by a pitch in that first. Went pretty clean through the second and third.
So now we've seen both pitchers struggle with their control in the first inning, get through the second and third innings really cleanly, and now in the fourth inning it starts to unravel as Gannon swings on the first pitch, sends it over the netting behind home plate for a foul ball.
That was a good pitch for Gannon to go at. Fastball on the outer half of the plate, just a little under it.
Behind 0-1 in the count. 2 down, 2 on for Bowling Green here in the fourth. Throw over to second. Going to be a little bit late. Parker looked like he was
almost caught him leaning a little bit.
Almost caught him sleeping over there at second base.
Yeah, Parker's still not taking a huge lead, though, over there at second.
Bean staring him down. Parker on second. Sloan on first. 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike. And Gannon finds himself behind 0-2.
We'll see how aggressive Gannon is. He can tend to be pretty aggressive in these at-bats leading to strikeouts when he's down in the count. See if he fights it off and waits for his pitch.
0-2 pitch from Bean, swung on out into right field. Coming around third is Parker, and he's going to touch home. Sloan gets in safe at third, and it's going to be an RBI single for Gavin Gannon.
Tremendous base running by the Falcons there. They got great secondary leads on that pitch. Parker was absolutely flying around third, didn't hesitate, and neither did Sloan. Great job by Garrett Sloan going first to third, setting up another Falcon in scoring position here with Gunnar Antillion coming to the plate.
Shutout ends for Jacob Bean in the bottom of the fourth inning. Made it 3 2/3 scoreless before that RBI single from Gavin Gannon. Now Gunnar Antillian steps in to the right-handed batter's box. 0 for 1 today. Flew out to left field in the second inning. Bean staring down third base. First pitch in high for a ball.
Second good breaking ball this inning that we've seen in the past couple of at-bats by Bean. Not be called a strike that very well could have been. That really was called a strike earlier in the game, talking to that inconsistency that you've been harping on, Reese.
2 down, 2 on for Bowling Green as the 1-0 pitch misses outside. Antillian ahead 2-0 in the count. Runners on the corners. Sloan on third, Gannon on first, following that RBI single just moments ago. Antillian lines one down the third base line, and they're going to call it foul. Tyler, that looked like it hopped the bag to me.
From here, that definitely looked like it went over the bag. Kyle Halleck immediately out of the Bowling Green dugout. Going to talk to Scott Inman about that, or attempt to talk to Scott Inman about that. The home plate umpire making the call there, of course, with John Sapphire positioned over towards second with the runner on first. That looked like it hopped over that outer half of the bag down there on third.
I totally agree with you from this vantage point. And Gannon took off as soon as that ball was hit. He had to walk from halfway between second and third back over to his spot in first base. I think that probably would have scored 2 runs.
Oh, it definitely would have. He was flying over there at first.
2 balls, 1 strike following the foul ball from Gunnar Antillian. 2 on. He hits one straight up in the air over the infield. Shortstop going to come under this one, field it cleanly, and that's going to end the inning for Bowling Green. 1 run scored on 2 hits, 2 left on for the Falcons as we head to the top of the 5th. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Welcome back to the top half of the 5th inning. Kent State getting ready to take back over on the offensive side. They will work with Sawyer Solitaria, Brody Williams, and Hunter Klotz here for the away half of the 5th. We do have some history for you folks today. This day in history on March 22nd. Well, first I'd like to wish a happy birthday to former MLB players and current MLB player Dexter Fowler, Justin Masterson, and Edwin Diaz, born on March 22nd, 1986, 1985, and 1994, all respectively. But this day in history, in baseball history, in 2012, Atlanta Braves Hall of Fame third baseman Chipper Jones announced his retirement. In 2013 was the biogenesis scandal involving performance-enhancing substances. And in 1991, Wayne Gretzky and LA Kings owner Bruce McNall purchased a mint-condition cigarette card of Honus Wagner for $451,000 at a New York auction. First pitch called a ball.
You know, back when I played baseball, I grew up watching Justin Masterson start for the Guardians, or Indians back then, Guardians now. And I don't know if it was a nod to him, but I was always a kid that wore my socks up high like stirrups, just like Masterson used to do on the mound for Cleveland.
I do love the classic look of stirrups, I will say.
Francisco Lindor wore them like that when he was here in Cleveland.
2-0 pitch, swung on, diving attempt by Sloan, just out of his reach, going to get into left field. Solitaria rounds first base, but he's going to decide to come on back. Throw would have been well in time. Solitaria reaches on a 2-0 single to left field.
Took a big round around that first base bag to Solitaire. He was about a third of the way down towards second before he decided to head back to first.
Single by Solitaria brings in Brody Williams, the catcher. 0 for 1 today with a walk and a strikeout.
Still have some action going on, the right-hander in that Bowling Green pen.
And there's some bodies over in Kent State's pen. Nobody's warming, but I believe there's
Just
some
some
bodies over
stretching.
there getting loose and stretching. First pitch into Williams, swung on and missed. Williams struck out on 3 pitches back in the 3rd inning. And he's already behind 0-1 here in the 5th. 1 on for the Flashes. 0-1 pitch outside. Nada's back up at 1-1. Sawyer Solitaria over at first base. Nick Good still on, pitching his 5th inning of work.
If you're Bowling Green, you're really in a position where you cannot allow any more runs this inning. The offense starting to heat up a little bit at the plate, already down by 5 at this point. You want to keep it right at there and not let Kent State extend this any further than what they have.
Throw over to first. Solitary is back well in time. The 1-1 pitch from Good, swung on, missed by Williams.
I will say Nick Good's inducing a lot of swing and misses here today. I think a little above his normal average. The stuff looks good. It's been the control at times, which led him to a little bit of trouble. But overall, he's been pretty solid today with his stuff.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody down here in the top of the 5th inning. 1 runner on first base, fouled off to the right, slicing well out of play over the fence. Do it again at 1-2. Williams coming into today, batting .351. He's making his 17th start. 20 hits and 57 at-bats. Good checking on first base. Now he'll deliver 1-2, again fouled off to the right. Well late on that pitch from Nick Good. We'll run it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery from Good. Just threw his bat at it, able to make it out past the outstretched glove of the shortstop, Gunnar Antillian, and the Flashes have 2 on, nobody out.
And Nick Good now sitting right around the 80-pitch mark. He's getting up there in terms of pitch count. I have to wonder how long of a leash Kyle Halleck will have with the left-hander.
I imagine it can't get too much longer. 4 innings allowed.
Halleck walking out to the mound now.
We'll see if we'll have to take a step aside for a pitching change. And body language.
No movement from the arm of the bullpen just yet.
Maybe just a little pep talk. All right, so Tyler, I will say here, you got 2 on. Let's say in this situation, you're the battery of Nick Good and Garrett Wright. In this situation, what are you calling upon Good to throw? And what do you want to get out of these next 3 batters? Because you have nobody down.
I think this next batter, he just needs to pepper the bottom part of the zone. I don't think he needs to really leave anything up in the zone. I don't think there's any need for that right now. I think get ahead of the batter first, like he's been doing. Pepper that bottom of the zone. Try to induce a ground ball. See if you can get a double play to start this off. Get you in a position where you can go for a strikeout or you can go for a pop-out. Because the last thing you want to do right now is let a ball get up in this wind and carry over the fence like we saw earlier.
So Halleck will leave Good out there to try and maneuver out of this jam.
Now have a full meeting between all of the Kent State batters on the other side. Seen this a couple times this series. Just doing the same thing Halleck was doing with his infield.
Nobody down, 2 on for the Flashes. Sawyer Solitary at second base. Brody Williams at first. Hunter Klotz will be the batter coming out of this short little break.
And Klotz is a guy who has grounded it so far today.
But he also has an RBI single back in the first inning.
Last time up, Good did get him to ground out to second. So that would probably be right along the kind of strategy that you want to go for here. And I guarantee you that's all the situational stuff that Halleck was talking to the infield about.
Wind switching, going between blowing straight out to center to more right center. The lefty Klotz showing bunt here on the first pitch.
And this is how, if you're Kent State, you avoid that double play. lay down a bunt here, try to move both runners up 90 feet.
And they're going to say he pulled it back just in time. Looked like he might have caught a piece of the ball, but they're going to say he was able to get back in time, and it'll be a 1-0 count to Hunter Klotz. Again, showing bunt. 2 on, nobody down here in the away half of the 5th. 1-0 pitch, low and outside for the second ball of the at-bat to Hunter Klotz. One in scoring position for Kent State. Third straight bunt attempt, again pulled back. And Nick Good is losing Hunter Klotz here behind 3-0 in the count.
Up over 80 pitches today, may just be losing a little steam out there on the mound.
Good steps off, throw over to second. Solitaria back well in time. And he walked him.
I don't know if they're going to call balk there, if they're going to call pitch clock violation, exactly which one that was. Because either way, there would have been a ball added and runners advancing in either scenario.
And Nick Good wants an explanation from Scott Inman on what he called.
So does Kyle Halleck talking to John Sapphire over on that third base line. Halleck done with his conversation, Nick Good still continuing on. And it'll be interesting to see if you're Halleck, do you leave Good in here to pitch to Kovas, who already has a single and has been walked today? I think the answer might be yes.
Looks like he's going to leave Nick Good in there. Advantage in the favor of Kovas. Lefty-righty matchup. 3 on, nobody down for Kent State with Alejandro Kovas stepping in. Came around to score his last time out in the 4th on that single. First pitch low for a ball.
As you would imagine, the Bowling Green infield playing in. Very inside of that infield dirt into the inside cut of the infield grass.
Swung on, fouled off to the right. And that'll be the first strike thrown by Good since Brody Williams.
See, he showed bunt first pitch, took a cut there. See if they're going to let him just rip loose at the plate or if they're going to try to have him lay one down here with 1 strike.
1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out for Kent State. 3 runners on, in there high for a ball.
That's right, I love that pitch, going high fastball with the bases loaded, nobody out.
Especially with the way the wind has been blowing today. Of course, it is blowing opposite of the pull side for Kovas as he waves at the 2-1 offering and will knot us up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The wind blowing to the opposite field side of Kovas, but of course that wind is always a factor in any situation in this ballpark. The 2-2 pitch from Good. Low and outside for a ball, and that'll fill us up.
Good really wanted that one on the mound. I think it was definitely a little outside. This has the kind of feeling this may be the last batter either way for Nick Good here on the mound.
For sure. Good working from the stretch. The payoff pitch swung on under the outstretched glove of Garrett Sloan out into left field. Gannon on it. 2 runners going to score for Kent State. And all the runners make it 180 feet up. Runner on second and third for Kent State on a 2 RBI double for Alejandro Kovas.
Solitaria scores from third. Brody Williams comes around to score from second. Like you mentioned, you have Hunter Klotz advancing to third, and Kovas sliding in there with a 2 RBI double.
And here comes Kyle Halleck, and the phone's ringing up here in the press box. I think we're going to see a Bowling Green pitching change. So we'll go ahead and step aside while the new man warms up for the orange and brown. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network, you can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Nick Good's day is done here after 4 innings. He will still be responsible for Hunter Klotz and Alejandro Covas, who stand on second and third base. New man on the rubber for Bowling Green. His name, Tyler, is Cade Arn. Go ahead and walk us through Cade Arn's stats this season.
Yeah, Cade Arn coming to the game, we'll get to it right after this, that he was in yesterday's game. Didn't throw too much, though. But Cade Arn, junior right-hander, 6'4", 210, from Bellefontaine, Ohio, went to Benjamin Logan High School. This will be his 7th appearance of the season, all out of the bullpen. A 7.88 earned run average. He's thrown 8 innings this season, given up 11 hits and 11 runs, 7 of which are earned. He has 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, so a 1-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio there. He's given up 2 extra base hits, both home runs, and has a opponent's batting, I should say, 324 against him.
Ripken Reese will stride into the left-handed batter's box, advantage in favor of Reese. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Following the 2-run double as Reese gets into one out towards right field, and that's going to carry well out of here. Ripken Reese on the board with a 3-run homer, the second 3-run shot of the day for Kent State.
That is an emphatic exclamation mark on this first half of the game for Kent State. Taking full control of this one now, up 11-1 over the Falcons.
And that serving as Reese's 3rd home run and 7th, 8th, and 9th ribbies of the 2025 campaign. He just needed 1 pitch to drive one out of here. It is an 11-1 lead for Kent State here in the top of the 5th inning. 5-run inning for the Golden Flashes as the first pitch is low for a ball to Brady Marshall. One-0 pitch called strike. Able to get in there at the top of the zone, even us up at 1-1. Nobody on, nobody out for Kent State. 11-1 lead. 1-1 pitch low and outside to Marshall.
And we can close the line on Nick Good's final line here today, as it's fouled off at the plate. 4 innings pitched for Nick Good, 10 hits, 10 runs, all of which are earned. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. He threw 94 pitches.
The 2-2 pitch low and outside. Going to fill up the count at 3-2. Still nobody out here in the away half of the 5th inning. 5 spot hung over there on the scoreboard. 11 runs on 11 hits for the Flashes. Marshall fouls one off towards Kent State's dugout.
As I mentioned earlier, Cade Arn did have an appearance yesterday. Only got 1 out, but he only pitched through 10 pitches, facing 2 batters. Walked 1, struck out 1, and had a wild pitch.
Another foul ball slicing off to the right. 5 runs on 4 hits for the Flashes this inning, plus a walk. Rough inning for the Falcons pitching staff. Payoff pitch lined into right field, and that's going to get down right in front of Parker. Throw in holds Marshall at first base. And there's another runner on for Kent State, and that's going to turn the batting order over back up to Micah Kirikoff. Fifth hit of the inning for Kent State, really beating up on this pitching staff for Bowling Green. Micah Kirikoff striding in.
And it's really everyone from this Kent State lineup making contact and getting hits so far in this game. Kirikoff doesn't have a hit yet, but he's a guy that has made some contact, grounding safely into a fielder's choice. He's also struck out and grounded out to short.
Went 1 of 6 in yesterday's contest. He's 1 of 2 today with a single back in the first, strikeout in the second. And the ball gets down over into the Golden Flashes bullpen. Throw in from Parker. Runner going to hold up at third base.
And that was a tough one because it was thrown over, and Birchmeyer wasn't able to reach it. He had to reach across Marshall and went to the ground there for a second. So the ball dribbled over towards that bullpen, and you had Birchmeyer and then Parker coming in from right field, both chasing it. And by the time they picked it up, Marshall was well on his way to the third base.
Kirikoff down 0-1. That'll be scored as an error, I believe, on Arn.
Yeah.
0-1 pitch lined over to the first baseman, Brady Birchmeyer, able to easily pluck that one out of the air for the first out of the inning for Bowling Green. Runner on third base. No balls, no strikes. One down for Hayden Yasik, striding in. Hit a home run his last time up in the fourth inning. It was a 3-run towering shot over the head of Gavin Gannon. One out here in the fifth. Yasik, ambush out into the right center field gap. Parker on it. That's going to bring home Marshall. It's going to be a 12-1 ball game as Yasik gets in standing with a RBI double here in the fifth.
Second hit, second extra base hit, and fourth ribby of the day for Hayden Yasik.
Yasik already halfway to a cycle. He's got the home run and the double out of the way. He just needs the single and the triple. And that'll bring in Jake Casey, the lefty, playing right field today. One out, one on for Kent State. Runner in scoring position on second base. First pitch right down Broadway for a strike to Jake Casey.
And Halleck really trying to get length from these pitchers here today, not really wanting to go into that bullpen after they had to use a few guys yesterday.
0-1 pitch, low and inside for a ball. Not us back up. 1-1. 6-run inning for the Flashes. 12-1 game, 13 hits for Kent State. As Casey gets into one, popped up sky high out into right center field, and Tackett's pulled up on it.
I think he lost it in the sun. Looks like Tackett's was tracking it, and then at the very end, he stopped right in front of the ball, about 3-5 feet in front of that baseball, and I think he just lost it in the sun, crouched down a little bit, just didn't see it at the end. And Kyle Halleck's going to make a pitching change.
Yeah, and we're going to see the end of Cade Arn after just one out here in the top of the fifth. We'll step aside for this pitching change. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
BG Men's Golf heads to Tennessee for the Sweden's Cove Collegiate from Monday, March 24th through Wednesday, March 26th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Coming out of the pitching change, new arm for the mound is Logan Bell. After Kadarn only able to get one out, Jury's still out on his final line for the day. He's responsible for the two runners on second and third base in the form of Hayden Yasick and Jake Casey. Tyler, go ahead and walk us through Logan Bell so far in 2025.
Yeah, Logan Bell, a guy who's in his 6th year of college, 5th year here at Bowling Green. Logan Bell, this season, this will be his 7th appearance, all out of the bullpen. A 23-14 ERA. He has pitched 4 2/3 innings this year, 13 hits, 12 runs, all earned, 6 walks, 2 strikeouts. Guy that struggled with command this season, giving up 2 doubles and a home run. Opponents batting .542 against him. He has a wild pitch and 3 hit by pitches. He's a guy that started the season off pretty strong. The senior right-hander, 6', 198 from Lisbon, Ohio. And he's really kind of fallen apart the past few times that he's gotten out there. Hitters have timed him up early, so we'll see if he can stop the damage here and get back to his early season form.
2 on, 1 down. Sawyer Solitaria strides into the right-handed batter's box up for the second time this inning. Golden Flashes have officially batted around the order. Singled at the top of the inning, came around to score. And he's ahead 1-0 in the count. Lines one right back up the middle, and that should score 2. Yasick comes around third, followed shortly by Casey, and that'll be a 2-run single for Sawyer Solitaria, his second single of the inning. And it is 14-1. Flashes on top, hanging an 8-piece here in the 5th. So those 2 runs will be tacked on to Cade Arn. We'll get his final line here in a second. My good friend over here, Tyler Kavelitz, punching the numbers. And by punching the numbers, I mean checking the live stats on sidearm. Brody Williams coming back in for the second time this inning. Todd Simon in the house today, head men's basketball coach. Saw him step away to take a phone call. Here for the second time this homestand as Williams fouls one back into the netting on the first baseline.
Busy guy right now with the transfer portal and off-season work recruiting for Todd Simon. We do have the final line for Cade Arn. 1 1/3 of an inning, 15 pitches, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs. All of them are earned. No walkouts or strikeouts for the right-hander.
Ball gets away from right. Solitaria going to make his way back over to first base. It'll go as a ball.
Arn had 11 of his 15 pitches, 4 strikes, but did have that fielding error, the throwing error out there on the mound on the pickoff attempt. So just overall, tough outing for Arn coming into the game trying to limit the damage.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on as the 1-1 pitch is low for another ball. 2-1 count. Solitaria over on first base after knocking in 2 runs with a single in his second at-bat of the inning. 8-run frame here in the top of the 5th. Slicing off to the right. That's going to get down fair for Brody Williams. Around second is Solitaria. Williams chugging into second base. And they're going to say he's safe. It looks like Antillion applied the tag, but he is going to make his way in there with a double.
It's a good throw in by Caden Parker from right field. Tillian must have just missed the tag there. We don't have the greatest view from up here. Tried to swipe tag him on the back as he was sliding into the bag. And I think Halleck's out of the dugout here talking with John Sapphire about that for just a second.
2 runners in scoring position with 1 out here in the 5th. Hunter Klotz coming back in.
The first baseman, Hunter Klotz.
Walked on 4 pitches his last time up this inning. Trying to tack on another 2 runs. In this frame, first pitch in there for a strike, caught the bottom of the zone. No balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Klotz Grounds one over to Brady Birchmeyer, who just lost it in the dirt, and that's going to bring home Sawyer Solitaria. Comes around to score, and that'll be the 9th run this inning given up by Bowling Green.
Kind of everything going wrong that could go wrong for the Falcons happening right now. Nothing really going their way as this is just turning into a disastrous inning for the Falcons.
15-1 ball game. Kent State on top. One down here in the frame. Still runners on the corners. And I believe that'll be scored as an error on Birchmeyer.
I would have to imagine. I haven't seen the rolling come through just yet, but I would have to imagine that is going to be an error. It is rolled an error on Brady Birchmeyer.
Runners on the corners. Time for a pinch hitter for Kent State. Colton Schaller hitting for Alejandro Kovas. First pitch in for a strike. Schaller donning number 11, junior infielder from Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. He's down 0-1. 0-1 pitch low for a ball.
Schaller this season batting .222. This is his 7th game played. He has 1 start on the year. His 10th at bat here. He has a double with 3 ribbies. He's walked once and struck out 3 times.
1-1 pitch high and outside from Bell.
And Reese, the run rule is in effect today, so 10 after 7, something to keep an eye on as we progress through this game here in the top of the 5th.
2-1 pitch outside, and that's going to bring us to 3-1. Command has been a heck of an issue with this Bowling Green pitching staff. We saw Nick Good kind of fight with it a little bit. He was on for a while, off for a while, but these last 2 pitchers in Arn and Bell have truly struggled with it as Schaller waves at the 3-1 pitch, and that'll fill us up at 3-2. Three, 2, 1 on the scoreboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 runners on. 9 runs scored in the frame as the ball gets away from Garrett Wright, and that's going to bring home a run. And Hunter Klotz is going to advance 90 feet. So I think they're going to rule that Klotz scored on a wild pitch. It'll go down as a ball, and then a wild pitch scored as well. So Kent State still going to have 2 on, this time on first and second, as Ripken Reese strides back up, hit a 3-run nuke his last time up. And Kent State has scored 10 here in this frame. It's 16-1. Reese watches the first pitch slide in for a strike. A 1 pitch low in the dirt, right, able to pluck it out. Even us up at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 on. Reese waves at the 1-1 offering.
I might have got Garrett right behind the plate. Scott Inman going to take a few steps in front of home plate, throw that ball back, give Wright some time to recover behind the plate.
Reese trying to repeat that magic in his last at-bat, trying to hit 2 3-run homers in this inning. As he'll watch the 1-2 pitch come a little bit too far in for a ball. Even us up at 2-2, 1 down, 2 on.
Bowling Green could use something here, something good. Get a strikeout here, just get something going your way. They need it as we have a ball in left field right now.
A ground ball is exactly what you need. You got to tailor make yourself a ground ball here. Double play is in effect.
I mean,
with
16-1. You'd love to complete a miraculous comeback, but it all starts with they just need to get out of this inning and just see something good go for them at this point.
2-2 pitch high and outside, and that'll fill us up. 3-2-1, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position in the form of Hunter Klotz, standing on second base. Schaller on first. And ring up. Ripken Reese. First strikeout of the day for Logan Bell. Second out of the inning for Bowling Green.
8th strikeout overall on the day for Bowling Green pitchers after Nick Good got 7 punch-outs in his start.
Shortstop Brady Marshall going to stride in. Marshall, he is 2 for 3 today with 2 singles. And a strikeout back in the second. He lines one right through the gap between third and shortstop into left field. Turning around third is Klotz, and he is going to be in standing with another run. It's an 11-run frame on an RBI single from Brady Marshall.
Kent State has just been tattooing these balls by whatever Bowling Green pitcher is out there on the mound. They have them all timed up here, I should say, here today. And you can feel this Kent State team did not like how yesterday's game finished, and they've come out with a lot of energy here in today's game.
And we have another pinch hitter for Kent State. This one, Billy Gerlot, graduate student outfielder from Auburn, Pennsylvania, Penn State transfer. Filling in for Micah Kirikoff. Kirikoff's day done. 1 for 3 with a single back in the first inning.
Yeah, played the past 4 seasons at Penn State, was ranked the number 7 third baseman in Pennsylvania in high school by PBR. Played 120 games for the Nittany Lions in his career.
First pitch to Gerlot in for a strike.
He actually had a pretty decent career over there at Penn State. Batted .250 over those, batted .244 over those 120 games. Had 20 doubles, 3 triples, 9 homers, drove in over 50 runs. Is a guy that tends to strike out a little more than average, 95 strikeouts to 54 walks.
0-1 pitch goes outside to nod us back up at 1-1. Gerlot drives one out into right field. This one carrying over the head of Caden Parker. Pinch hit home run for Billy Gerlot. And that is another 3-run bomb for the Flashes. It is 20-1 here in the top of the 5th. So it's safe to say I think there were some hard feelings after the way that game ended yesterday. Some frustrations for sure as Hayden Yasik steps in for the second time this inning, and we think he's going to have to take a break as here comes Kyle Halleck to talk to Logan Bell.
You know, the best way to sum this one up, Reese, is this is baseball. This is the good and the bad side of baseball. It's what makes this game so beautiful that you can't be on your A game every single time out there. And Kent State's on it right now. Bowling Green's not on it on their side. And seeing the result of that, this Golden Flashes team has grabbed the bull by the horns in this game. And, 20-1. They are full control of this one.
To give a little anecdote, my late grandma, shout out Grandma Jones, she, anytime there was an update in the Indians-Guardians game, the ringtone on her phone, it was set to the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think that perfectly encapsulates the sport of baseball. And we're seeing it here in this 14-run 5th inning for Kent State. Hayden Yasik strides in. Jake Casey on deck. Sawyer Solitaria in the hole, trying to get his 3rd at-bat here in the 5th inning. As the first pitch to Yasik, high and inside for a ball.
Broken the scoreboard out there right now. All we have is a 4 for this inning. They've scored a little more than 4 runs this inning.
4, I think, is an estimate. They've scored at least 4.
At least.
This inning. Yasik ripped an RBI double last time out here in this inning. 2-0 pitch in for a strike.
Well, if you want one positive thing for Bowling Green, they have not burned through arms in giving up these runs. You've had
true.
this come at the expense of a couple of arms, so you still have a lot left in that bullpen, and that's definitely a strategy move by Kyle Halleck right now. There's no point in emptying your bullpen in this game when you threw a decent amount of pitchers yesterday. You had to go through 5 different arms yesterday after Newman could only get you 2 innings.
Yasik flies a 2-2 pitch out into left field. Ganun runs in on it, makes the catch out in left field, and we are finally out of the top of the 5th inning. 14 runs scored on 10 hits with 2 Bowling Green errors. Nobody left on base for Kent State as we head to the Bowling Green half of the 5th inning. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
Hey, I'm Lucas Kleinmeyer, and you are listening to a presentation of the Falcon Media Sports Network on Falcon Radio. For Falcons, by Falcons.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
BGSU Softball's Peyton Steffes is this week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week. Against Buffalo in the first MAC series of the season, Steffes went 7 for 11 at the plate with 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and a stolen base. She also played fantastic right field for Bowling Green, making no errors on her 6 made plays. She has stepped up into a much larger role in 2025 than in 2024, starting 25 games for BG this season compared to 27 games played total last season. Head coach Michelle Gardner has inserted the sophomore into a major role this season and says she challenged Steffes to be better. She was on fire last weekend, and it was awesome to see. This has been your Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Here in the Bowling Green half of the inning, new pitcher for Kent State, Brody Krisiak. TJ Tackett's leading things off for the Falcons. We're back up to the top of the order here in the Bowling Green half of the 5th. First pitch in there, kissing the top for a strike. Here as we begin the home half of the 5th inning. We do have some more this day in history for you folks here in just a second. As Tackett fouls one off to the left late on it.
Have some, before we get to that real quick, some defensive positioning to go over. Zach Corky's going to be in the game for Caden Parker. He'll be in right field. Defensively for the Golden Flashes, Kirikoff out of the game. It's going to be Gerlot out there in center field. And in left field, it's going to be Schaller in for Kovas.
0-2 pitch goes for a ball, 1-2, and ring 'em up. Tackett just watches that one roll in down Main Street, got him looking. So for round 2 this day in baseball history, way back in 1947, was the first ever televised Mexican League game. The Azules de Veracruz took down the Diablos Rojos de Mexico 11-3. In 1962, an anonymous New York Giants player says that Bobby Thompson's 1951 home run in the World Series was helped by a sign-stealing spy. In 1972, the American League approved the sale of the Cleveland Indians to a group headed by Nick Maletti for $9.7 million. As
It's actually going to be Cooper McKenzie batting in for Garrett Wright. So McKenzie will pinch hit. We'll have some other pinch hitters as we continue to go along. It just appears that Kyle Halleck's going to be emptying the bench here for Bowling Green.
And McKenzie's ahead in the count 2-0. And to finish us off, in 1976, out in California, out in Anaheim, California Angels groundskeepers found hundreds of marijuana plants growing in the outfield of Anaheim Stadium following a concert.
Yeah. It's always interesting to look back at all that history stuff and you kind of go, how was that allowed to happen?
2-1 pitch outside to McKenzie. 3-1 count, 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th for Bowling Green as the 3-1 pitch driven into the dirt. McKenzie going to draw a 5-pitch walk following Tackett's strikeout looking. And again, love to wish a happy birthday to Dexter Fowler, Justin Masterson, and Edwin Diaz in the off chance that you're listening to Falcon Radio today.
We'll have another pinch hitter for DJ Newman here. It's going to be Brock Amelung into the game for the Falcons, so Newman's day is done, and Amelung will get an at-bat here for Bowling Green.
Hitting for Newman, a sophomore from Powell, Ohio.
It's definitely the right strategy, though, at this point, down 19. There's really no reason to keep
There's no
guys
sense
like
in
Garrett Wright and DJ Newman in the game.
There's no sense in risking injury to your star players. As Amelung thought about swinging on the first pitch, he was able to hold up for ball 1.
And, Kyle Halleck talked about this after they got their 10th win of this winning streak, that the 10-game winning streak had taken a toll on this team. They're a little beat up in a few different spots, so chance here for some of these guys to get a little early rest.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1-1 pitch is called a strike. 1 runner on for Bowling Green as the count runs to 1-2 to Brock Amelung. Swung at a ball in the dirt for strike number 2 here in this inning.
Brady Birchmeyer's still going to be in the game for the Falcons, so he will get another at-bat here.
Perhaps trying to keep that home run streak alive. Brody Kresiak working through this Bowling Green, the top of this Bowling Green order effectively.
This one makes sense because he is a guy that didn't play in the 2 midweek games for some rest. So trying to keep getting him warmed up to the plate.
Birchmeyer dribbles one over to third base. The third baseman lost it on the transfer. That's Yasik over there at the hot corner, unable to get it into the hand. And throw it over to first base. That'll be scored as an error, I am sure. And Bowling Green will have 2 on with 2 down here in the 5th inning.
It will be an error over there at third.
Sam Seidel still in the game. 0 for 1 with a walk back in the 1st inning.
The second baseman, Sam Seidel.
2 on, 2 down for the Falcons here in the 5th. 20-1, Kent State leads.
Warming up on deck for Bowling Green is Zach Corky. He's going to be coming into the game for Caden Parker, if we can reach him.
As Seidel watches the first pitch kiss the outside edge for strike 1. 0-1 delivery outside. Even us up at 1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out. 1-1 pitch lined up the middle for Sam Seidel. Coming around third base is Cooper McKenzie, and he's going to touch home plate. Birchmeyer makes his way up to third for a 1-run single for Sam Seidel, and that'll bring up Zach Horkey. So Bowling Green cuts into the lead. It's not over yet, folks. 20-2 the score here in the bottom of the 5th. Back-to-back innings with a run for the Falcons.
That's what you want to see, though, out of the team. You want to see the fight still there.
Exactly.
It's not over till it's over. That's something this team has said that you need to get 27 outs on us, maybe a little fewer here today if they're not able to close that 10-run gap. But either way, it's still the same there, that this team's going to fight until the very last out.
Zach Horkey, who was in my life design class freshman year, taps one foul off down the third baseline. Shout out Anj, who's no longer at BGSU. Two out, two on, runners at the corners for Bowling Green. One strike in the count to Horkey.
Runner going on the pitch, but it's fouled to the back, so he'll go back to first.
Seidel wasting all that energy. Horkey behind 0-2 in the count, 2 down, 2 on. 20-2 score. Kent State on top. Seidel goes again. Horkey sends one straight up into the sky, out into right field, charging in on it and making the catch is Jake Casey. And that will end the inning for Bowling Green, able to put on another run to bring Kent State's lead down to 18 runs. We're going to head to the top of the sixth. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Hey, I'm Lucas Kleinmeyer, and you are listening to a presentation of the Falcon Media Sports Network on Falcon Radio. For Falcons, by Falcons.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
New pitcher on as we start the sixth inning here from Stellar Field. Kent State back up to bat. New pitcher on for Bowling Green. It is C.J. Boudreau, the freshman righty. Tyler, go ahead and walk us through his stats so far in the 2025 campaign.
Yeah, this will just be Boudreau's fifth appearance of the season out of the bullpen. Freshman righty, 6'1", 189 from Oregon, Ohio. Went to Oregon Clay High School. He has a 12.46 ERA and 4 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 5 walks. He struck out 4 batters. 1 double is the only extra base hit allowed. Opponents batting .400 against him this year.
Jake Casey leads things off here in the top of the sixth, swinging at a pitch. Down 0-1 in the count to Boudreau, and another one fouled off way out of here to the left. That's going to bounce off into the courtyard behind us. 0-2 the count to Jake Casey. 1 for 2 today. Rips a hot shot down the first base line, foul. Oh, 2 pitch to Casey. Just inside. First ball of the at-bat for Boudreau. Defensive substitutions for Bowling Green. Caden Bates taking over in left, Zach Horkey taking over in right, and Cooper McKenzie taking over behind the dish with Braden Curlis taking over at the hot corner at third base. Tapper hit straight to the shortstop, fielded backhanded, throw over to first in time to send Jake Casey back to the dugout. 6-3 put out for Antilian over to Birchmeyer.
Do have a final line on Logan Bell. He went 2/3 innings pitched, 29 pitches thrown, gave up 4 hits and 6 runs. Only 2 of the runs are earned after a couple of errors. He walked 1 batter and struck out 1 across 8 batters faced. So overall, out of the 20 runs that the BG pitching staff has given up, 16 of them are earned. 8 strikeouts and 4 walks collectively between them.
Looks like we have a pinch hitter for Solitaria. Can't get a read on the number. We'll let you know as soon as we get there. And whoever this mystery batter is plunked on the first pitch.
It's going to be Dom Kibler, a sophomore catcher from New Berlin, Wisconsin.
Another pinch hitter for Brody Williams. It is Peyton Ebbing, sophomore catcher / infielder, right-handed batter. One down in the inning, 1 on after Dom Kibler was just plunked on the first pitch he saw.
So the only starter still in the order for Kent State right now, Yasik, Casey, Klotz, and Risa Marshall, it appears.
For now.
For now.
First pitch framed nicely by McKenzie for a strike on the outside edge. One strike, 1 out, 1 on. Another strike called on the outside corner. Down 2-0 is Ebbing.
Good experience here for Boudreau to get into the game. Hasn't had many opportunities this season.
That one came a little too far inside. This season for Boudreau, making his 5th appearance, 12.46 ERA and 4 1/3 innings pitched. It's allowed 8 hits, 6 earned runs, as the 1-2 pitch is thrown into the dirt outside. Even it's up at 2-2, 1 down, 1 on. Boudreau with 4 strikeouts to 5 walks, allowing opponents to hit 400 off of him. As Ebbing sends one foul off to the right over the visiting bleachers. Keep it here at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 20-2 the score. Kent State on top. 20 runs on 16 hits to Bowling Green's 2 runs scored on 3 hits. 1 error for the Flashes compared to Bowling Green's 2. Boudreau again, the 2-2 pitch fouled back off to the right. He'll try it one more time at 2-2. Kibler over at first base. Not much of a lead over there. 2-2, ran in on Ebbing.
I think that's going to be calling a foul ball. I haven't seen a motion that said he was hit.
Yeah, it looked like.
Inman talking with him at the plate, and I believe they're going to call that a foul ball.
So
he really didn't make a motion like he was hit. He kind of just backed up like I'm ready for the next pitch kind of thing. So it must have gone off the knob of the bat.
3 straight foul balls still leave us at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. here in the top of the 6th inning from Stellar Field. Sun making its way out a little bit more as Bedreau throws one straight to the backstop, and Kibler going to round second.
That's something that Bowling Green pitching has struggled with so much this season. They lead the Mid-American Conference in wild pitches, well upwards of 20, about the mid-20s at this point. There's another one there, this time by C.J. Bedreau.
Looked there like Kibler was trying to play chicken with Cooper McKenzie. When Cooper McKenzie was making his way back up to home plate, Kibler was kind of standing halfway between second and third. The 3-2 swung on and missed by Ebbing. That'll go as the first strikeout of the day for Bedreau.
That now the, by my count, 9th strikeout of the game by Bowling Green pitchers.
First baseman, Hunter Klotz.
2 down, runner on second here in the top of the 6th. Hunter Klotz still in the game. Walked and reached on an error in the 5th inning. He's swinging and missing on the first pitch here in the 6th.
Before that, he singled, RBI single in the first, and he's also grounded out to second.
He's behind 0-1 in the count. 2 down. Went around, or they'll say he held up. Check swing.
Kind of an in-between one there.
Really looked like he was going to commit there to going all the way through, and then he held up just barely at the last second. Evens up the count at 1-1. Lowe gets Klotz ahead 2-1. Two balls, one strike, 2 down. Runner on second is Dom Kibler. Inside.
Didn't miss by much, just about a ball inside.
Again, we've seen this strike zone shrink both horizontally and vertically as that one came inside again, and walking to first base is Hunter Klotz. That's his second walk in as many innings.
Left fielder, Colton Scholler.
2 on, 2 down. For the Flashes, Schaller stepping in.
5th walk of the day by Bowling Green pitchers. First of the day by Bedreau.
First pitch called a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Runners on first and second. Ran inside. Ball 2. Tom Kibler stands on second base. Hunter Klotz stands on first following the walk he just took. Bedreau, the 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. Haven't seen a lot of swings from Kent State.
Been pretty passive this inning, especially compared to last inning.
Yep.
When they had 10 hits.
2-1 pitch in low. For a ball, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner in scoring position for the Flashes in the form of Dom Kibler, and the 3-1 pitch high and outside, back-to-back walks for C.J. Bedreau, and that'll load him up for, we'll see who's stepping in. Looks like it is going to be another pinch hitter. Matthew Thompson, the junior righty.
Pinch hitting for Reese.
Ripken Reese's day is done. Hit a 3-run bomb in the 5th. Singled in the 4th, struck out in the 1st.
Thompson, junior infielder, 6'2", 200. From Akron, Ohio, went to Wadsworth High School. Played his past 2 seasons at Youngstown State. He was actually the first Youngstown State player to earn Horizon League Freshman of the Year. Batting .214 coming into today's game. Slash .299, .390, .414 in his career, over 105 games at Youngstown State.
First pitch in the zone for a strike on the top inside corner. 0-1 count, 2 down. Bases loaded for Thompson here. See if he can make some more magic for this Flashes squad. 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball.
If you're Bowling Green, you're just hoping to get to the end of the inning here. These last 2 innings, the top of the innings, have dragged on so long. It's not just the score, it's just the length of these innings that Kent State has pushed these two. It's kind of the demoralizing part of it.
It just feels like you can't get out of any inning. You haven't been able to get out of any inning really since the 4th.
It's kind of that thing when you do one thing right, 2 things go wrong.
And waving at the 1-2 offering is Thompson. That's going to take us to the end of the top of the 6th inning. 3 left on for the Golden Flash as we head to the home half of the 6th. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
Falcon women's tennis heads up I-75 to battle Toledo on Sunday, March 23rd at 1 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Defensive substitution for Kent State. Peyton Ebbing in at catcher, taking over for Brody Williams. We'll see if there's any other defensive substitutions as they come in, as Bowling Green will take back over offensively here.
So if you haven't caught up with the defensive substitutions, currently for Kent State, Ebbing is behind the plate, and on the mound is Krisiak. Klotz is over at first, Reese at second, Marshall at short, Yasik at third, Schaller in left, Gerlot in center, Casey in right. We'll update that, like you said, as we get more coming through.
Stepping in, the righty freshman infielder Braden Curlis, filling in for Garrett Sloan out at the hot corner, getting his first look today.
So it's no longer Reese at second. It's going to be Matthew Thompson substituting in for Reese after pinch hitting there at second.
First pitch in for a strike to Curlis.
And Casey's also no longer in right field.
0-1 pitch slicing over down the first base line. Right fielder making a nice running grab to secure the first out of the inning for Kent State.
Over in right field there, that is Humphrey, Max Humphrey, the redshirt freshman outfielder / catcher, 6'1", 200 from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, making that catch running towards the line.
Great athletic play by Max Humphrey. First out of the inning. As Caden Bates steps in.
The left fielder, Caden Bates.
Filling in for Gavin Gannon. Bowling Green with almost an entirely new lineup. Gunnar Antillion is still taking his practice swings just outside of the on-deck circle.
So it currently stands, it's now Tackett, McKenzie, Amelung, Birchmeyer, Seidel, Horkey, Curlis, Bates, Antillion. the batting order for the Falcons. We'll see if Tackett or Birchmeyer end up getting subbed out when we get back to them.
Bates, first pitch, swinging, fouling it back over the netting down the first baseline. Fouling it over the stands to the right. 0-1 pitch. Called a ball. One, 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1-1 just outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 down, nobody on for Bowling Green. Able to work a scoreless top of the 6th. Now trying to put some more runs on to make this box score look a little prettier. Bates gets one down into left field. That's going to be fielded by Schaller, the left fielder. And Bates going to have his first hit of the day in a single to left field.
Love to see that for Caden Bates. That is his first hit for Caden Bates.
Could come as a rally starter. We'll see. 1 down, 1 out for Gunnar Antillion, striding in to his batter's box. Righty-righty matchup.
First collegiate hit there for Caden Bates.
And Antillion, ambush approach, lined right up the middle. Bates stops at second. Back-to-back singles for the orange and brown as Gunnar Antillion gets aboard for the first time today. First pitch swinging for the shortstop.
Still going to be TJ Tackett coming up to the plate, so he'll get another at-bat. Chance to continue his personal momentum at the plate in that leadoff spot.
Tackett today 0 for 2. He's got 2 strikeouts, looking at a walk back in the first inning.
He's homered in 3 straight games, has TJ Tackett.
Trying to keep that streak alive with 1 down and 2 on. Tackett's thought about going. He's going to watch a strike fly right past him. Held up at the end of the swing there. Does not matter. It was in the zone.
He's been a little hesitant at the plate today, pulling up on a couple of those that are in the zone that he could take a swing at. And there again, they miss inside. They've been pitching inside to him quite a bit. It's been hard for him to get anything to turn on and send it into the wind there in right field.
That's a good strategy because if you leave something on the outer half of the plate, he's going to take it for a ride as the 1-1 pitch is outside for a ball. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 on, 1 out. As Tackett's waves at a pitch. Low and outside, 2-2.
Wanted that one. Wanted all of that one. Just a little over the top of it. See if he can adjust with 2 strikes.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Missing again on a fastball on the inner half of the plate. Tackett's is down swinging his 3rd strikeout in a row.
Tough day at the plate for TJ Tackett.
Cooper McKenzie coming in. Filling in for Garrett Wright, who had an 0 for 1 day. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. And McKenzie sends one out to right field, slicing towards the wall, jumping catch attempt no good. Scoring is Bates. Coming around 3rd is Antillion. He's going to score. It's going to go as a 2-run double for Cooper McKenzie. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Bowling Green putting some more runs on the board. It's 20-4.
Great to see there by Cooper McKenzie. Just sent that out into right field, and the wind did the rest, pushing it out towards the wall. Humphrey not able to get it as he jumped on the warning track into the wall there by the NCAA tournament signage on that fencing. Great hit there by Cooper McKenzie. Getting BG 2 more runs on the board.
Brock Amelung striding into the right-handed batter's box for the first time today, filling in for DJ Newman at DH. Newman finishes the day 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. As McKenzie sends one out into right field, it's going to be shallow, and running in on it to make the catch is Humphrey, and that'll end the inning. Bowling Green scores 2 runs on 3 hits, thanks to a 2-run double by Cooper McKenzie. We're going to send it up to the top of the 7th, and we'll kick it back over to Tyler Kavelitz to take over the 7th inning. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
Falcon softball stays home to face Kent State in a doubleheader on Saturday, March 22nd. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korek and Henry Koska will be on the call beginning at 1:45 for pregame and 2 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Back here at Stellar Field, Bowling Green, Kent State, Golden Flashes in complete control of this one right now, leading 20-4 over Bowling Green. But before we get back underway, I do have the answer to that trivia question, Reese. So I posed this to you, bottom of the third. When it was Wii Sports released, it is Wii Sports Day here today at Stellar Field. Your options were A, 2006, B, 2008, C, 2009, or D, 2005. Do you have an answer?
I do. So I believe, if I remember correctly, as a kid who grew up in the 2000s, the Wii was released around 2007, give or take. I'm not 100% sure that Wii Sports came out on release with the Wii, and 2007 isn't even an option, I don't believe. I don't think you listed 2007 as an option. I kind of tuned you out there when you were reading.
I
them
did
off,
not list 2007 as an option.
I do have my answer. I'm going to go ahead and lock in that Wii Sports came out in the year of our Lord, 2008.
You were so close with your methodology. 2006
Brutal.
is when Wii Sports was released, as this one driven out to center field. But there to make the catch is TJ Tackett for the first out of the inning. Brady Marshall flying out to center field.
Another ambush approach. We've seen it quite a few times by both sides here in this game, and that'll bring Kent State back around to the top of the order to Billy Gerlot.
Gerlot, his second at-bat here today after pinch hitting, had a 3-run home run the last time up. And really, I mean, we said it earlier in the game, and it still rings true. Everyone in this Kent State lineup today has hit and made loud contact, as the count on Gerlot is 2-0. Carson Silva into the game here for Bowling Green. Silva, big figure on the mound for the Falcons. He is a freshman right-hander for Bowling Green, standing at 6'8", 197 from Liberty Township, Ohio. Tell us a little bit about Silva, as this one's fouled off to the right side as the count goes even at 2-2. Tell us a little bit about Silva this year, Reese.
Well, first off, I'll tell you what, with the transfer portal looming for BGSU men's basketball, I wonder if Carson Silva could get in as a walk-on forward.
As that one misses inside, count goes full to 3-2.
Anywho, Silva in 6 appearances, 3 starts this season. He's got a 11.70 ERA, 0-1 indecisions across 10 innings pitched, 18 hits, 14 runs, 13 of them earned. He's got 4 strikeouts to 8 walks. And he's allowed 3 doubles, 2 home runs, and he's allowing opponents to hit off of him at a .383 clip.
That one fouled off at the plate. The payoff pitch by Silva. Swing and a miss there by Gerlot. He goes down on strikes. Silva gets his first strikeout of the day.
So I'll go ahead and eat my words and now say he's got a 5.8 strikeout to walk ratio.
Nope. 28.
26. Sorry. I can't tell, actually.
As Yasik.
Looks like he'll be pinch hit for. Looks like we've got Jake Robinson.
His day is over.
Freshman.
It's a matter of time before they pulled Yasik out of the game. Yasik ends his day with 4 ribbies, a home run and a double, a strikeout, fielder's choice, and a fly out to left field. Productive day at the plate for Yasik.
I tell you what, there's not many days that you'd rather have than a day like that. 2 extra base hits, 4 RBIs. Take that any day.
Robinson fouls this off to the left side. Jake Robinson this season, this is his 6th game, just his second off the bench. He's batting 100, 1 hit in 10 at-bats. He does not have an extra base hit, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts on the season for Jake Robinson. Reminder that the 7-inning run rule is in effect today, so if Bowling Green, as Robinson swings and misses at the plate, count goes to 1-2. If Bowling Green is trailing by 10 or more runs at any point after the conclusion of the end of the 7th inning, the game will be over, and we will not play the full 27 outs. Right now, Bowling Green would need to score 7 more runs in the bottom half of the inning to keep this game alive, but first they have to get another out here as Robinson grounds this foul to the left side. Count still 1-2. We'll do it again. Marshall beginning the inning by flying out to center field before Gerlot went down on strike swinging. Silva trying to work a 1-2-3 inning here in relief for Boudreau. Falcons have gone through 5 arms today now with Good, Arn, Bell, Boudreau, and Silva.
Would be the first 1-2-3 inning for the Falcons since the 3rd inning.
Seems like months ago at this point.
Yeah. With the way that 5th inning went, feels like that was yesterday.
This one grounded hard, but foul towards the right side. So we'll do it again at 2-2 after a ball was thrown right before that. Silva's had a few blow-up appearances where that's really skyrocketed his numbers. But he's got a lot of experience starting and in relief. Coming in here as a freshman. A lot of potential. Misses inside. Almost hits Robinson. He backs out of the way. So we'll do it at a full count. 3-2. 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Kent State leading 20-4 over Bowling Green. 3-2 pitch to Robinson from Silva. Fouled off to the left side. We'll do it again at a full count.
He's making contact with the ball. He's just not able to catch up on it. He's not able to catch up on the fastball, a little late on it. And we've seen it, I believe, at least 3 out of the last 5 pitches.
Swing and a miss on the high fastball there by Carson Silva. He works the first 1-2-3 inning for Bowling Green since the top of the 3rd. And the Falcons come up to bat, needing 7 runs to keep this game alive if we want to play past the 7th inning here today at Stellar Field. Kent State leading Bowling Green 20-4. We head to the bottom of the 7th. You are listening to BGSU Baseball right here on Falcon Radio.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the US EPA.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Back here at Stellar Field, Bowling Green trailing Kent State 20-4 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Falcons need 7 runs to keep playing this one past the 7th inning. The 7th inning run rule, which is if you're down by 10 or more runs at any point after the 7th inning, the game is over. That is in effect today. Agreed upon by the coaches before the game.
Brady
so we will
Birchmeyer.
see if the Falcons can keep it alive as Sam Brady Birchmeyer come to the plate. It'll be Birchmeyer, Seidel, and Horkey, barring any Seidel isn't on the on-deck circle, so there will not be pinch hitters for them. They'll get at least another at-bat here today. First pitch to Birchmeyer. He swings and pops this up over to the right side. Klotz going after it at first base, catches it in foul territory for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Golden Flashes.
And we did forget to mention it at the top of the inning. C.J. Boudreau's day, of course, is done. We have that final line. He threw 29 pitches across one inning of work, 2 walks, fanned 2, had 1 wild pitch, and did end up hitting a batter. But a scoreless outing for C.J. Boudreau in a very high-scoring affair.
It was good to see
for the
him,
Kent State offense.
see him battling out there as a freshman, getting some experience. Same with Carson Silva. Good to see the 1-2-3 inning from him.
Absolutely. It's going to be crucial to get some of these young guys in the pen some work.
This one's grounded over to the right side. Fielded by Thompson at second base. He'll flip it over at Klotz. And Sam Seidel grounds out Bowling Green down to their final out here.
In the form of Zach Horkey striding to the plate. First at-bat of the afternoon.
Falcons' historic 11-game winning streak on the brink of collapse here. Down to the final out with Zach Corky. They need 7 runs to keep the game alive. First pitch from Krisiak to Horkey, down and outside for a ball. Horkey could get on. Braden Curlis would be up next for Bowling Green. Horkey pinch hitting for Caden Parker. Last at-bat for him. This off-speed misses outside. Ebbing tried to frame it, couldn't get the call behind the plate. 2-0 count on Zach Corky. Krisiak still on the mound for the Golden Flashes. This one flown out right center field. Wind carrying it. Gerlat's going back.
Alley.
It's going to one bounce the wall, and it's going to be a stand-up double for Zach Corky with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
All right, Tyler. Rally caps on. Let's see if that double right there can spark a little more offense out of Bowling Green and see if they can pull something off that's, frankly, it feels improbable to hang up 7 runs here with one out to spare.
I always say this with college athletics, that you have always seen something crazier.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's improbable, but not impossible. We'll see if the Falcons can go on a crazy run here.
I mean, you look at it, they've been in a 7-run hole before. Obviously, you're not trailing by 7, you're trailing by 16, but you need 7 to keep it alive. But in that instance, they had a little bit longer than just one out to play with. But again, like you said, always seen crazier.
Strike called at the plate on Braden Curlis. 1-1 the count on Curlis. 2 outs here, bottom of the 7th. Bowling Green needing 7 runs to keep the game and their win streak alive. Zach Corky stands on second. This one grounded to short. Marshall feels it, throws it over to first, and that is how Bowling Green's historic 11-game winning streak comes to an end. The Golden Flashes defeat the Falcons here today at Stellar Field 20-4. We'll take a quick break, come back to recap this one for you. Bowling Green's 11-game winning streak is over. Golden Flashes winners here today on a Saturday afternoon battle at Stellar Field. You're listening to BGSU Baseball on Falcon Radio. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Well, as the old saying goes, all good things must eventually come to an end. Tyler Cablets alongside Reese Patricas here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. And Reese, the win streak wasn't going to last forever. Nothing ever does. But that's a tough way for the 11-game winning streak for the Falcons, the historic 11-game winning streak, to come to an end here today at Stellar Field.
Yeah, it's certainly an unfortunate way to see it go. As you and I were mentioning earlier, that's not the way you want to see a win streak like that come to a close in blowout fashion like that. But, while it wasn't a fantastic day for the bullpen, it was good to get some of these younger guys some looks, and C.J. Bedreau and Carson Sova. Nick Good had a really good he had a all right day. And he went four innings, 10 hits, 10 runs, 10 earned, 3 walks, but he did fan 7, so a little silver lining there at the end of that.
It's a day that I don't think the stat line, it was
Exactly.
one inning that really, he was up 80, 90 pitches in that inning.
You could tell
Halleck did not want to go through his bullpen today, and Nick Good was kind of left out there to try and survive.
You could tell he was certainly tired there towards the end, and I think as I was saying, you look at that 7 strikeouts, and that's a nice little silver lining. He was able to get some swings and misses, especially early. He had control of all of his pitches in the second and third inning, and then he also closed out the first inning, able to find himself. So looking at it, I think the box score, in any sport, you can't go by looking at the box score. And obviously the box score is going to be ugly, 10 hits, 10 runs, all earned. But, again, like you said, all of that damage came in one inning when his pitch count was really ran up. Yeah. So, it's certainly double-edged, to say the least. But, it was a great day for Kent State, and there's really no denying it. The ball was jumping off their bats. They were seeing everything that Bowling Green was throwing extremely well. The final stats for the day, Micah Kirikoff, 1 of 4 with an RBI. Billy Gerlot, who came in, pinch hit for Kirikoff. He hit a 3-run homer in the top of the 5th inning, that high-scoring top of the 5th inning, in which Kent State was able to hang 14 runs on 10 hits, fueled in part by 2 errors from the Orange and Brown. Hayden Yasick continued his hot streak. He was 2 for 5 today with 4 RBIs. Sawyer Solitaria, he was 3 of 4 with 3 RBIs. Reese Ripken, he was 2 of 4 with 3 RBIs. Hunter Klotz had a really good day, 1 of 3, 2 RBIs. Alejandro Covas batted 100 today. It was 2 for 2, 3 RBIs and a walk. And Brady Marshall to close things out, 3 of 5 day, 3 runs scored, and 1 RBI.
Yeah, and like we said, tough way for it all to end, but can't overlook what this Bowling Green team did. 11-game winning streak for just the 6th time in program history. A 7-0 start to MAC play for just the 3rd time in program history. They are, for the 2nd season in a row, they were the last undefeated team in conference play in the Mid-American Conference. They are still in first place in the conference standings. That has not changed. Team is still positioned to have a really another historic season here. This is a run that will be looked back in 10, 15 years from now as one of the more special runs in this program's history.
And now, a loss like this, it makes tomorrow's – I mean, I don't have to say it, I don't think, but it makes tomorrow's game, which has been moved up to noon, it makes it all the more important because that's the rubber match. You haven't won a series against this Golden Flash team in 13 years. It's been since 2012, the last time that Bowling Green was able to beat Kent State in a series, and that just speaks to the dominance of Kent State over the last decade plus and how great they have been at MAC baseball. And, It's going to be a big one tomorrow. It's going to be you and Carter Leonard on the call for the rubber match, trying to see if Bowling Green can win their first series against these Golden Flashes since I was 10 years old.
Yeah, well, and there's even more to it, too. You think back to last year. Kent State was the first team to take a MAC series from Bowling Green, and they're going to try to do the exact same thing tomorrow. Bowling Green looking to prevent that and stay perfect in that Mid-American Conference Series, go 3-0 in that category. But like you said, that is a change that just came in about less than 10 minutes ago. Time change for tomorrow. It has been moved up to a noon first pitch because of some weather coming in later in the afternoon. So hopefully we will be able to get a full baseball game in tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see on how that all plays out. If anything were to change with all of that, we will have it on the Falcon Media Sports Network Twitter X account at BG_FMSN. So keep your eyes on that for any updates. It will be myself and Carter Leonard on the call, like you mentioned there. And before we go off the air here today, want to send some thank yous. First, G. Reese hopping on 2 calls this weekend. It was great to have you on the airwaves here for BGSU Baseball. And
it's been my pleasure, Tyler. Sorry, I got caught not paying attention there. Yeah, it's been my pleasure.
Taking the moment.
Yeah, I was absorbing this beautiful Ohio sky. I can't lie to you. These big puffy clouds. Sun. It was a little cloudy to start, but the sun's kind of popped out now. There was hiding behind some clouds to start, but sunny here in Northwest Ohio. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to call both of these games with Jas McNeil yesterday, with you today. Yesterday was fun. Today was a little bit less fun, but all you can do is
baseball is baseball.
Exactly. Baseball is baseball. It's good, it's bad, and it's ugly. So,
great way to put it there. Before we go off the air, I want to send another thank you to Jack Schill back in the Falcon Radio studios for getting us on air. Couldn't do it without you back there pushing all the buttons and moving all the sliders. Thank you for helping us get on air and make this broadcast happen. I want to also thank Lucas Kleinmeyer, the Falcon Media Sports Director, for scheduling all this out, helping get us these opportunities, and to Carl Smith, the Falcon Media Advisor, for keeping us all in line in Falcon Media Sports Network and giving us all the opportunities we have within Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media. But we will be back on the airwaves tomorrow at noon. We will be over on our sister station, WBGU 88.1 FM. You can catch myself and Carter Leonard there. But for Reese Patricus, Jack Schill, this is Tyler Kavlitz saying have a great day and stay safe, everybody. This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.